Good morning, world. Today, I am Alexandra Marchewicz. Today, we bring you stories that make headlines all around the globe, including the ones from the past 24 hours. So relax, sit back, because Morning World Today begins right now.
This year marks the 80th anniversary of the genocide of Poles in Volhynia and eastern Galicia by Ukrainian nationalists of the insurgent army. On Sunday, Polish President Andrzej Duda, together with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, paid tribute to the victims of this tragedy. The NATO summit in Vilnius is fast approaching. Heads of states are coming to discuss the most important issues of the region and the world. Lithuania is strengthening its security forces in anticipation of the upcoming meeting of the heads of state. 16 NATO countries have deployed a total of around 1,000 troops to secure the summit, which begins on Tuesday. The president of Uzbekistan has won the snap presidential election held in the country. As the polling stations closed in the Central Asian state, the incumbent president was the only candidate who could gather enough support to win. A few hundred members of Canada's Sikh community took to the streets outside the Indian consulate in Toronto to protest the unsolved murder of their leader, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who advocated for an independent Sikh state. The incident has ignited a political firestorm with calls for a thorough investigation into what some claim to be a political assassination. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, over 4,000 people have embarked on a 3-day March of Peace to commemorate the memory of over 8,000 victims of the massacre in the Bosnian enclave by Bosnian Serbs in July 1995.
And now it's time for our morning news brew with Ben Lee. Hello, Ben. What do you have for us?
Well, a lot has happened over the weekend, so let's get cracking.
That's right.
Now, the first one, of course, it would be remiss if we don't discuss the upcoming NATO summit in Vilnius that will be happening tomorrow. A lot of preparation is already in the works, so let's take a look at the first article relating to the topic.
Right.
Now, the first one we have is on the topic of Ukraine's NATO membership. From The Guardian, it says that Ukraine is pessimistic about joining NATO ahead of the Vilnius summit. Now, of course, this has been a topic that's been widely talked about, whether or not Ukraine will be joining NATO. The biggest obstacle right now is, of course, the fact that they are at a war with Russia. And there are a lot of criticism coming with US and Germany not letting Ukraine being a part of NATO. But I think there is also kind of a valid concern coming from these countries to be cautious about Ukraine's membership. As we know, NATO is a strategic military alliance. It's not just a social club that you can willy-nilly join in. And the way that the current situation goes is that NATO is operating on the one for all and all for one model, where if one NATO country is under attack, then all are under attack. So if Ukraine joins NATO right now, effectively, that means that the other 31 countries, plus Ukraine, will be in a war with
Russia.
Article
5.
Exactly. So if the Article 5 is activated, then we're potentially seeing World War III, essentially. On the other hand, if NATO don't react to Russia's aggression on Ukraine, if they join in, then that would just show that the NATO is the treaty or the Article 5 is in fact not effective. That kind of defeats the entire purpose of the NATO organization and will kind of devolve it into a very expensive social club.
Yeah, exactly. And seeing this, I feel like then again, at least the US is not closing the door in front of Ukraine for possible NATO membership. It's mainly saying, you are not ready yet, and we are willing to help you to get you through and pave the way for your membership. But perhaps in this very moment, it is not the right time, really.
Exactly. However, I think another really valid criticism in the NATO summit in Vilnius is the fact that even though Ukraine is not officially a member, there are concerns whether they should be a part of the discussion when it comes to strategic talks in NATO, especially given the fact that they're the country that is most involved in the war right now. Where when we look at the preparation that's currently undergoing in Vilnius, we can see flagpoles decorated with NATO flag and the Ukrainian flag. You see the Ukrainian flag all over Vilnius, which shows a very, very great sign of support, but also ironic the fact that they have the flag all over the country, but somehow Ukraine itself is not invited to the table to even have a discussion strategically. However, of course, there are many concerns of whether or not this would escalate the tension, and there's a lot of factors going into this. So take it at face value, and we'll see what the discussion entails, and the more information will be coming out in the next 2 days.
Absolutely. There are some mixed messages. So perhaps with the upcoming NATO summit that is starting tomorrow, perhaps we're going to get some clear messages, as both President Zelensky and Jens Stoltenberg say. Now let's move to the next topic. Still, I believe that's Russia related.
Definitely. The next one is from Politico. Moscow says that NATO leaders should discuss Ukraine nuclear power plant. Now, this one is quite interesting. Of course, we know that President Zelensky has been saying that Russia might be planning an attack on the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. This is one of the biggest power plant in Europe, if not the biggest in the region, and has been a hot point of contention ever since the beginning of the war.
Hey,
Especially, it's like 1,200 kilometers away from Vilnius, which is right now the place of meeting of the greatest leaders right now of NATO. So, I mean, we do not say that it's in the nearest vicinity.
Wait, question. It is true that German is more popular than English in Balkan states, but it's before very recently, I want to say early 2000s, English was an irrelevant language. No hate to my English people, but it was irrelevant. It was useless. America was useless. UK was useless. Like, it was not a language you needed to know in order to function. So in elementary schools, the students had to choose between studying Russian, because Yugoslavia was an ally of USSR, so you had to know Russian, or you could study German, because we were also allies of Germany, so you could study German. So that's why it's more popular. It's because English was irrelevant at the time. So for years, like, no one was studying English because there was no need to study English, because you weren't going to have a interaction with an American, like, at all, in any meaningful way. Then it changed very recently, but, you know, right now it still stays like this. It's kind of cool for tourists around, because a lot of time we get German tourists, and they get shocked sometimes because they come here and they try to speak broken English, because they think we can't speak German, but like older generations can speak German better than they can speak English. It's switched in the younger generations, so that's kind of cool.
But then again, well, it's close enough.
Right, definitely. And this statement is kind of curious because, well, they say that they should discuss the nuclear power plant situation. And is that some sort of thinly veiled
How was your weekend, guys, by the way?
Do they actually want any sort of a conclusive discussion on it, because they do have mutual interest in it not exploding? It's kind of all very, very shrouded, especially the language that they've been using also kind of can be interpreted in many different ways.
Right, I mean, seeing it, at least President Zelensky recently said also that Ukraine is really prepared for any possible disaster on the nuclear facility. So at least from their side, they are actually taking into consideration that perhaps something might happen at the nuclear power plant.
Yeah, that has been a contingency plan for a while now. They have been stockpiling iodine pills and kind of measures to prevent it from getting out of hands and becoming a disaster. That being said, it is still something that needs to be paid close attention to. And of course, we know the IAEA head has personally been to the nuclear power plant a couple of times. They've all came back with information that the situation is rather dire. So definitely something to keep an eye on.
That's right, and honestly, I really hope that some conclusion will be actually taken there. Now, let's move on now from Russia to North Korea and the United States.
Right. Speaking of escalating tensions, we have another one occurring just now. This one is from South
Ooh.
China Morning Post. Titled, North Korea threatens to shoot down U.S. planes as it condemns nuclear moves. Now,
You
this
worked?
topic is
Same.
mostly on the strategic
Hope it
nuclear
was all right
assertiveness
for
that U.S. is implementing around the region, and of course
I-
that
I-
kind of
I
angered
had
North Korea, and now they are also posturing
My
and
first
saying that
fight with
no,
a
they
retail
will
customer
patrol the
today,
area,
so
and if U.S. encroaches on the North Korean airspace, and they will
I
shoot
hate
it
being
down.
alive.
Of course, whether or not these are just rhetoric or are they really planning on escalating it to that point is still remain to be seen. And North Korea is no stranger to saber rattling and kind of issue all sorts of warning just to kind of back down last second. But it is important for them, especially internally, to show strength, to show that we are not afraid of America. And this could be another attempt at posturing. But again, situation is escalating around the area, and it's too early to kind of just write it off as a.
I mean, you're absolutely right. On the other hand, of course, North Korea has things to be afraid of, especially, for instance, when in April, the leaders of both South Korea and the United States agreed that a U.S. heavy Navy nuclear-armed ballistic missiles will be, let's say, introduced. We do not know yet when it will happen, but this promise is quite strong. So
I
perhaps
don't want this.
North Korea is
Ish,
trying
ish.
to prepare beforehand if something happens, and we know that being prepared usually means attacking first. So they prefer to.
What? They promised a cash tip and then got pissed when I asked them about it as they were walking away. I had one, I was working Sunday, and like my boyfriend was around and he came to visit. And there's, you know, like when you're a young woman working retail and there's slimy old men being your customers and being really fucking annoying. Basically, they saw him waiting for me because he was, we were supposed to go to city after, and they got angry. So today they complained to my coworkers that I was like ignoring customers because of this, and I was like, bro, no, shut the fuck up. Gum is so rotten on the inside, my dude. Parks department had to be there to restock bathrooms and dump garbages during a 4-day tournament. Holy shit, how bad was it? Were there lots of people? I hope the bathrooms were in exemplary condition. I hope they were in the best condition ever. I hope no one pissed all over your floors or whatever. I've seen some weird stuff in festival bathrooms. Hope you saw none of it.
Basically create that kind of situation of uncertainty so that the US perhaps would be less willing to bring any more weaponry towards the waters of North Korea.
Right, and uncertainty is the key word right here. We still
By the way,
need
yeah, I
more
wanted to do
clarification
the
of,
affiliate anniversary
information
thing
until we
this
can really
Wednesday.
pinpoint to what their actual kind of strategies
Because
are.
like on Wednesday, I'm having a free day from work. So I planned to do a longer stream on Wednesday and then to do the affiliate anniversary thing. But Twitch isn't allowing me to change the date anymore. I don't know why. For a while, I had the option to change the date, and now it just like took it away from me because it's a little bitch. I work in retail. I work in a store. I started working basically because my mother is the store manager, and they couldn't find enough workers to replace other workers. So it was like me working was the, how would I say it, a humanitarian thing. Okay, it was a humanitarian cause to go into retail for a limited time. So in my eyes, so she could have nice few years before pension and she doesn't have to worry about this. It has proven to be a mistake because I've learned that I can't stand people. I'm just learning how much I hate people these days. My man, they're just annoying the fuck out of me. At this point, you know what I'm gonna do? Like if I ever have to do a manual job, not online jobs, I miss my translations, my man. I'm just gonna go into like one of those firm works. There's like a new thing opening these days here in the city close to me. They're going to be making like, as far as I know, it's like military equipment and shit like that. brung, I'm gonna be applying for that. If I ever need like a manual job, I'm gonna be applying for that shit, so I never have to interact with customers again. Holy shit, are they stupid? With drink, I'm drinking myself to death. I will have to drive to the vineyard at one point of the stream today. I don't know when, to get my relatives out. So we will see when that happens. If it's late and we already did a raid, then like with GG. If it happens early, I will have to see. Okay, so wish me luck for that too. Basically, like today is a chaos, and then Twitch pushes this affiliate thing on me today. I really wanted to have it on Wednesday, and they're like, no, you're having it today. And I'm like, Twitch, fuck you.
But right now, it does seem like the situation is escalating a little bit.
Especially, I mean,
who's
let's
the
talking numbers,
owner of
19
Twitch?
ballistic missiles in 18 months. That's quite a number. So
The
That
bold
is the
one.
number.
So looking
Fuck you,
at
the
this,
bold one.
it seems that we're going to have to see a bit more before perhaps the situation resolves.
Right.
Now, from there to Sudan, perhaps, let's go
All right,
to
and
Sudan.
moving on, we are still on the topic of
But
escalation.
quite
Unfortunately, a lot of things going on,
Well,
and this one,
Mondays.
Arab news is saying that UN
Balkan.
warns Sudan faces full-scale civil war. Now, over the past few weeks, of course, we've seen the situation in Sudan deteriorate with the official army and their like unofficial forces. They are kind of struggling. Well, there's an internal power struggle. Most of the diplomats
Okay,
have already
fair,
been
but
pulled
Zaharova
out as the
drinks
tension
vodka.
escalate. They've had multiple attempts
And I
at
don't.
peace negotiations,
Okay,
and they
I'm
have come
not
to
drinking
multiple
vodka
peace treaties,
yet.
none of which last over 72
way too
hours.
early.
So as soon as they decided, okay, we declare peace, they turn around and they started shooting each other. And it's been happening, going on and on and on. At this point, there is
Working
really
customer
hard
service
for a
makes you hate
reconciliation to
humans
be reached
sometimes,
because
yeah.
both sides no longer have faith in each other's
I'm just
capability to uphold
angry.
any sort of
I'm
peace
just pissed
treaty
off at them.
agreements, as it has been broken over and over and over again. And every time it happens, more lives are lost.
It's
I mean, look
you
at-
know why it's a shit situation. Like I've been thinking about it. You know why it's a shit situation? It's because you try to put yourself in like their shoes, and then you hate them even more. Because you're like, what would make me? I don't know if it's a generational thing, but I did notice, like my parents, for example, my mother, she works in a fucking store, and she still has a very weird relationship with other workers in other stores that we go to. I guess it's a generational stuff. But sometimes I'm like, I wish what would make me be this fucking annoying to someone working a customer service job. And I can never figure out a response which isn't just me being incredibly miserable on the inside. You know what I mean? And like, I want to put myself in their shoes. And it's like, only if I imagine the shoes to be rotten can I figure it out. Because if you imagine any sort of a normal human interaction, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes they're like, you know those TikTok kids who film TikTok challenges with retail workers. Sometimes it's like very similar energy to older people when they come to the store, and they just annoy the fuck out of me. No faith left in humans. Same, idiot, same. And then I go on fucking Twitter, and then I see people bitching about the shark meme. Have you guys seen that? Holy shit! Like so many people are posting about a goddamn shark thing today, because NAFO had a summit, and on NAFO summit there were shark plushies around, and someone started the whole concern trolling thing with like, oh, NAFO making memes out of a Russian dying because of a shark attack is what's making Russians not support Ukraine, and it's what's making them vote for Putin, because they are offended by NAFO mocking the, shark attack thing. And it's just an incredibly stupid thing. I found the post, by the way. An incredibly stupid thing, and my For You page is just filled with it. I'm just, dude, I'm so exhausted. Like, I go outside, I see stupid people. I go online, I see stupid people. I'm just seeing stupid people. I'm just seeing fucking dumbasses, but this one just bumped into this brave NAFO fighter fearlessly carrying a rubber shark in the streets of Vilnius. Your vigorous crusade against the dead Russian tourist who was eaten alive in front of his family is truly heroic. Fucking Navalny person. This is the woman leading the Anti-Corruption Foundation after the other dude left the Anti-Corruption Foundation leadership post. Something. He was leading it for a while, and then he left it because he signed a petition to remove a Russian oligarch from the sanctions list. The Anti-Corruption Foundation dude wanted to remove one Russian oligarch from the sanctions list, which was, I'd say, like the stupidity needed for that, I don't know. And then he gets replaced by this woman who's even dumber than that. There was a good meme to come out of it though. Where's the meme? There's a meme and I love it. The Simpsons one, where he goes, oh shit, should I be scrolling this far? I'm gonna see something problematic, I feel. gonna be see there's someone naked, there's someone blown the fuck up, but I'm gonna be seeing something I'm not supposed to see. But the one which is like, oh, this is the worst thing ever to happen to Russia, and then the response is like, oh, here it is. This is a pool toy, you deeply unserious narcissist. This one, I love it. I'm gonna tattoo this one. I'm gonna tattoo this fucking meme on my ass. That's it. Fuck, you can't see the whole of it if I zoom into it. This one though. That is a pool toy. For real though. Same response as Kremlin. Yeah, that too. Fuck 'em. Talking about that though, Shark Week is approaching. Which one documentary channel does Shark Week? National Geographic. They're soon going to have Shark Week, so you know, I'm just saying, suddenly I'm feeling a great need to be following that on stream.
We have a situation where there is no common ground, so how come they will be able to actually reach any conclusion? We know that at least leaders of Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, and South Sudan are to, let's say, handle the Sudan's file and are to meet in Addis Ababa in order to perhaps talk about how the third parties can help in order to resolve the situation, because we see that clearly that both sides within Sudan are not able to do this alone.
No, definitely not. And unfortunately, there has been also a third-party mediation attempt in this
Shit,
region.
Erdogan too. He changed. Yeah, Sweden bad because they support terrorists, so we will allow Sweden in NATO if you allow us into European Union, which fucking stupid. Like, shows he doesn't really have any sort of ideological reason to oppose Sweden from getting into NATO. He just wants to be a little useless bitch. But then also, not just that, he wants into European Union. I'm not seeing nearly enough BRICS people bitch about this, because BRICS people were bitching about like Turkey being one of their allies for the longest time. Where's that now, bitch? Where's that now? But also another thing is that he has made some weird claims, or like Turkey made some weird claims about the grain deal. So like they released the Azov people and someone from Turkey. How was it? Wait, let me try to Google this. They said that they will be protecting the ships from Russians if needed, stuff like that. It was, I don't know. They seem to kind of be turning against Russia, I guess. I'm guessing. Oh, they're discussing the grain deal. Hey, yo, DB, how's life? Sharkfest going? It's going now. We need to be watching that. I need to be live streaming that. Just the Sharkfest forever. When I go to drive to the vineyard to get my relatives out, I'm gonna play you some shark videos. Life was better in Zadar. My dude, I'm having an existential crisis today. I'm unironically thinking about moving away. I'm gonna join the fish people. Gonna build a little hotel room thingy. Going to rent it to tourists and just going to have a cozy life there. That's what I'm gonna do. They will secure the grain shipments even if Russia stops the deal. Yeah, that's like an kinda anti-Russia position, right? Which like, why would you do that? And then also you desperately want to get into European Union. Why? But also you're not gonna get into European Union. Surely he knows this is not how it's gonna work. accepting him into European Union now that he has blackmailed us into accepting him into European Union. That would be fucking ridiculous. Any shithole in the world could be doing that. Russia could literally be like, hey, I want to get into European Union. If you don't let me in, I'm going to, I don't know, go butcher another one of my neighboring countries. It would be a very stupid thing to fall for, and I don't think we're going to do that. It's just it was a stupid thing to say in the first place. I don't know why he didn't play it very diplomatically. You know what I mean? Like, why didn't he play it softer? Why didn't he just go, well, maybe I could be applying for European Union these days? And then, like, you let the people slowly, you know, figure out that you want to be part of European Union too. Why not do it softer? Why do it in this dumbest way possible? It's like he wants to dance around like a little monkey and to be embarrassing. Everyone's just really stupid these days. I think it's the summer. I think it's the heat. I think it kind of melts away part of our IQ. Interesting article. Ooh, on what? On what? Can I legally reach it? Cyprus had it gets worse. They have a new border with fucking Syria and integrate with an economy that's fucky wacky. I think they'll leave Sweden out of NATO. Is that's what it costs? The best thing is that so far Swedish response has been, yeah, guys, we don't need NATO membership that much. Because like Finland got into NATO. Getting Finland into NATO is the important part. Sweden right now is doing well. Sweden's doing fine. Sweden's protected. It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. So I don't know what he was wanting to do. Did he just want to create some sort of chaos around this? What was his plan? Surely he knew this is not going to work. Yes, Sweden has a buffer state. Yes, that's true. That's true. That's true. Turkey would need to be democratic and resolve the Cyprus conflict. Turkey is gonna solve it by being like, hey guys, if you want your solution of Cyprus conflict, allow me into another one of your organizations. Which one did it not get in? It wants to get into, I guess, some sort of like a Balkan partnership or whatever the fuck. Ho ho ho, let me see. Oh. Ukrainians have to grind the mines with a disc cutter because European ammunition warehouses are half empty. A generation of European politicians thought that artillery shells were needed once a year in an exercise or in a small boutique war. The actual warfare capability of some countries could be counted in weeks. What happens to Ukraine changed the threat perception of the governments, but European defense industry is still in low gear due to special interests and the insane need for money. Ukrainian Commander Taras grinds a 13-kilo Finnish mine with a rake. It is not safe. Should the explosive detonate prematurely, it would pulverize anything within 30 meters. However, they cannot be unpolished. Even though they are 120 millimeters in size, they do not fit into the same large barrel of the Ukrainians' mortar sent by Italy. But no other ammunition is found. Bro. Ireland in Sweden, if Russia would attack the Baltics, then that would be the weak spot in the sea. Ooh. I think the problem in that is, wait, can't I just do this and then like go? Oh shit. I was like, maybe I can just like click on X and just read it. Because that would be cool. I think the problem is that Russia at this point, I don't know if they could take against the military of Baltics. It would be very stupid of them to attack anyone. Can you afford to do anything really at this point? Can you do that? Come on. Yeah. Especially, I don't know. I still have trust in my Polish brothers. I still have trust that if Russia tries anything, they're going to piss all over them. We can block them from getting into the Baltic Sea in the first place. That too. We can block them from doing anything if we give enough money to Ukraine and just like stop this whole fucking thing. Just stop it in its tracks. I want to see Balkan.
for a while now, and again,
want
so
to- I
far
want
it
to see
hasn't been really
Balkan.
fruitful, especially when the major players of the world
Where's
have
my
already
Balkan thing?
made their attempt. It's also relatively hard to believe that these other smaller
Russia
countries will
is
be able to
stupid,
bring
no
them
way.
into, well, they can bring them to the table.
Right.
They can reach a peace talk,
I
but
saved some
whether or
videos
not
for
it will
today,
be
by the
upheld
way.
is
I
another.
saved the Discord one. Oh, I saved this one, and I saved this one, which was the Discord one, and I saved this one, which is the risk of disaster. And then I've got a lot of other ones saved too. But for now, I want to see Balkan.
The issue. So, as the title says, yeah, unfortunately, we might
And
be
also
looking
be
down a
salty about
full-scale civil
Twitter
war.
users.
Right. Now moving on to perhaps technology.
All right. Now, speaking of war, we have OpenAI assembling team to stop artificial intelligence apocalypse. We see a picture
that's a
from
joyful
the
one.
Terminator there. Hopefully, we won't be seeing
What?
looking down the barrel of a civil war
Anytime soon.
between us and the robots. But of course, this is a slightly bombastic of a title. The potential AI getting out of hand is still ways ahead of us, but there is a little bit of concern about how powerful
That's what you
artificial
think.
intelligence can be, especially looking at the
That's what
newly
wants you
developed
to believe.
ChatGPT and all the other AI that's been circulating around the market. It has a lot of limitations were put on these AI, and still it can achieve a lot of things. Of course, it makes our life.
By the way, who's using the Twitter clone? Who here can use the Twitter clone? The what's the name of the Twitter clone? Threads. Is it good? Because I can't use it because I'm in European Union and we don't have access to it. And I don't know whether I'm sad about it or not. Like, part of me is feeling like it's good to miss out on more Twitter-like content. Another part of me very much likes the idea that you have to connect your account to your like Instagram, because then you can't be anonymous. And I wonder if people will be posting different things on that one than they post on Twitter, because they can't be fully anonymous unless you make like a whole new Instagram account, right? But I feel like it would be a good experiment in a way, you know? Like, are you going to be a nicer version of yourself? Because, for example, my Twitter is... You can find my Twitter if you know my Instagram, but it's not, like, directly linked. So I wonder if I used Threads, would I be posting different stuff? Even though it's linked the same way that like Twitter is linked. You know, it's like on a social experiment scale. I'm so interested in this, but I can't use it, and I can't look at what anyone's posting. And I don't know. I just want to see it now while it's still fresh and in the beginning. I want to see the posts, and I can't. You heard it, City? Fuck. Well, that doesn't make me too happy. I wanted to see if people who are soft Vatniks, if people who are strongly Vatniks on Twitter wouldn't dare to do the same thing with their Instagram connected. Or like the other way around, you know, people who post really, really, like for example, when it comes to Neifa posting shark memes, I wonder if they would be posting the same shark memes if their Instagram was directly linked. Because Instagram at this point, it's like Facebook, isn't it? It's like old people's app. It's really clever. AI would lull us into a false sense of security. True. But, we're quite suspicious. I don't know if anyone would get into a false sense of security, you know. No matter what it does, there's going to be people who will be like, hey, can we trust technology? Probably not. So I don't know if there's a way to get us all to believe it enough. Meta is equally as shit as Elon. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, I'm not thinking of using it on like a moral scale. My reasons for wanting it do not come from my morality. It comes from me wanting to use the people there as guinea pigs to see what they post. Because a lot of content creators, for example, I've noticed that they post a lot stronger views on their Twitter than they post on their Instagram, you know? So, like, their Instagram is just selfies and bullshit like that. But then their Twitter is actually, like, some strong-worded things. And I wonder if Threads, which is, like, a combo of two, if Threads gets into action, would it be, like, a middleman? Like, you go to Twitter to see someone's actually unhinged, slur-filled views, but you go to Threads to see them acting professional? Not professional, civilized maybe? That's what I'm interested in. I want to see it from a experiment part, and I can't because I'm in European Union and we have stupid things like laws and data usage, and I don't know. I don't know what exactly is stopping it. I know I can't use it. Yeah, you can't disable your Threads account without deleting your Instagram. Yeah. It's I don't know if you can't delete it, but you can disable it, or if you can't disable and you can delete. I don't know the differences between these, but yes, you can make it not work, but you can't. Yeah, delete then. You can't delete it without deleting Instagram. That's true.
More convenient, but at the same time, people are worried that it does possess the potential.
Which also makes me think about like how would people be behaving on that site. Because if you post something Twitter-like on Threads and then you want to get rid of it, you usually want to get rid of the whole account. I know a lot of people who are on their like, Twitter account number, whatever the fuck, because there's so many accounts they had previously, they have gotten rid of because they were just too not supposed to be seen by anyone ever. So I kind of wonder. I kind of wonder if they do start posting unhinged things, what would need to be the cost? What would need to be posted in order for them to want to get rid of their Instagram account and then start anew?
To get out of hands, and a lot of tech leaders are already very wary of the situation.
Including, in fact, the ChatGPT CEO that actually decided to back away from the situation, saying that it has gotten out of hand and he's not able to do anything with it. So seeing really one of the founder members of this very institution, let's say, saying that, okay, I do not know what to do with this.
I've created a monster.
Precisely. So, I mean, thankfully there are some regulations, and the EU says that perhaps there is also more regulations to come. So I guess we just have to say.
And hopefully that can put the lid back on Pandora's box, but doubtful.
We'll just have to see. Well, thank you so much for bringing this morning brew to us. Bentley, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
And now let's see what is going to happen in the next 24 hours.
Srebrenica.
On the eve of the NATO summit in Vilnius, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg is set to convene a meeting between Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson, aiming to seal an agreement for Turkey's ratification of Sweden's membership bid. US President Joe Biden will meet at 10 Downing Street with British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, with whom he will discuss, among other things, the war in Ukraine. He will later travel to Windsor Castle for a visit to King Charles III. The Human Rights Council is set to debate a contentious draft proposal on religious hatred in the wake of a Quran burning in Sweden, an initiative that has highlighted rifts in the UN body and challenged practices in human rights protection.
And it is now time for our morning analysis of the day, and I'm joined with Michael Dębiński, British-Polish Chamber of Commerce, and Małgorzata Bonikowska, EU Foreign and Security Policy Expert, Centre for International Relations. Hello and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now, first and foremost, I would love to start perhaps with the topic of Turkish and Swedish leaders that are to discuss membership bid ahead of NATO summit. Now, what do you think is significant of this upcoming...
Less relevant this. Have you seen these? Have you seen these? Have you seen these? Zelensky and Duda have commemorated victims of Volyn massacre. Have you seen these? Because I've seen some Vatniks being very, very angry over it. But they're actually admitting the whole thing. They're talking about the massacre. They have commemorated victims together. I thought it was... Oh, makes sense. Polish, up your camera. The flag, this one. That one has been there for a while. It's there because I was very, very Russophobic, and someone called me an honorary Pole because of my Russophobia levels, and I took it as a compliment. Swedish PM will burn a Quran in front of Erdogan as an alpha move. Oh. I mean, yeah, actually, that would be probably an okay thing. I mean, okay. When I say okay, holy shit, there's a wasp in my room. When I say okay, it sounds bad, but listen. Turkey has proven that they're desperate little fuckers. I wouldn't really be opposed to this. I wouldn't be opposed to this. I would be like, yay. Based on that book too. Because, like, come on, if Turkey dares to demand to get into European Union, and that only then it will allow Sweden into NATO, I think Turkey doesn't give a shit about the book either. It's using it for political reasons. So, you know, burning it in front of Erdogan wouldn't really be too bit of a decision probably. But Nickville, a Catalan in a couple of weeks. We'll try to be drunk all of my stay to make it tolerable. You are NAFO representation. You have to be the strongest person there, okay? You have to be the absolute Chadist Chad existing. You are rapping us right now. Why would we be afraid of? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it was at the start of this whole thing that people started calling me Russophobic, and the best thing is that back then it didn't even like it wasn't even to the levels it is now. I remember at the start of the whole invasion, people would be calling you Russophobic simply if you acknowledged that USSR did crimes in part of its existence. But now I don't even know what it's supposed to mean, my dude. I don't even know what they think it means. I don't even know how they define it.
Meeting. Is it a breakthrough, really? That will be for Michael Dembinski.
Yeah, this is going to be a crucial NATO meeting, a crucial summit in terms of the future of the war in Ukraine.
Also, yeah, summit's going to be useless. I don't have a lot of trust in the summit. Is this going to be him talking about the summit until the end of ends? Kinda is. The summit's going to be useless.
It's very important to get Sweden on board and to iron out those differences with Turkey. Hungary also needs to be brought in. Discussions, as we've heard earlier this morning, about Ukraine joining NATO, probably in the...
He says differences between Sweden and Turkey. Listen, he's talking about the fact that Sweden values freedom of speech and Sweden values freedom of expression, and Sweden is okay with burning books if you want to be burning books because it's just a book. You want to burn it, okay? And on the other hand, Turkey values being a menace, and that's that. Lib left shit, we Russo hatred. Whoa. We evolved past it. I've seen so many people on Twitter these days, they remind me of Slav. You know how Slavic Slav makes that claim that like, oh yeah, the only reason Russians actually believe that NATO was threatening them is because the West didn't accept Russia for so many years. It was reminding me of that. I was watching so many of them. There's one of them. Fuck, I need to find a post. I was just getting annoyed before the stream on this. I think it was Volkov himself lying about this. Shit, now I'm looking for it. He was claiming that people have stopped donating to Ukraine, stopped supporting Ukrainian causes because... Oh, here it is. I found it. Because, people are mocking the Russian who got eaten by a shark. There. Shark memes literally made many reasonable people in Europe to cut their support to Ukraine. No, it didn't. But also, as well spoken from a man who is opposed to sanctioning a Russian oligarch just because it's an oligarch he likes. No, I've seen so many people make a claim of like, oh yeah, it's pushing Russians away because Russians actually want to support Ukraine. And then they come to Twitter and then they see NAFO and then they're like, oh, no one really likes us. Maybe the world really wants Russia to crumble. Like, bro, no, it is not your responsibility. Okay, the basic thing I want you to know that it is not your responsibility to fucking rehabilitate Russians. Also, no reasonable person in Ukraine is stopping support because of goddamn shark memes. What the hell? Why is this even conversation going on? It just weirds me the hell out. NAFO summit was cool though. I don't know if you were there. NAFO summit, probably better than NATO summit is going to be. It was good. They had lots of really, really good memes in the back. Collected, as far as I know, thousands of dollars to help Ukraine. So overall, the event paid off. I hope to see more like it in the future, mostly because every person I've seen talking has been very reasonable. And I think it's a good... How to say this nicely? I think it's really, really good to have an alternative to the idiots you see representing the other side. You know, as much as NAFO has been a good, strong thing on Twitter, they have not really been a good, strong thing in, I think, many other areas. I know they do the Twitch live streams, so on that they're fucking based, but I think we should be doing more because it's a good alternative to the idiots on the other side. I was gonna donate 1 hurricane to Ukraine, but them shark me made me angry and no more donors. Yeah, one of them. Was it Volkov? I want to say it was Volkov, but I don't know who it was. One of them said that they know a Russian girl who has donated thousands of dollars to Ukraine before she saw them mocking the dude who got eaten by a shark. Like, come on. No, it didn't happen. No, it fucking didn't happen. Who the hell? Whole Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit are laughing at submarine accident. Yeah, that's too. Yeah, just bitchery all around. I've seen few of them. I've seen few of NAFO people too. I'm strongly disagreeing with it. People making points like, oh yeah, well maybe NAFO shouldn't be memeing the shark incident because this is all that people are now focusing on, and no one's focused on the actual point of the summit. In which case, I need you guys, I need you to remember the only thing Russians do, the only thing organized Russian opposition has been doing, will ever do, is bitching. Nothing else. If there were no shark memes, they would be bitching about memes with fellas riding around on rockets. If there was no that, they would be bitching about memes of fellas dancing around on Moscow burning. Okay, no matter what you present, they will be bitching about it. They will find a way to bitch about it. At the purest form, if we just had naked fellas pictures, they would be bitching about the fact that we are using the image of a dog, and somehow this is mocking that one story where Russians eat dogs. Okay? They would figure out a way to bitch. So I don't blame the shark meme makers at all. I'm exhausted. I was angry at work. I was angry at home. I was really angry today. Yes. Donate to save sharks. Donate to save sharks. What did we do to them to warrant this? Why does no one like us? What do you think, bitch? What do you think? Try to guess. Try to guess. It reminds me of my ex. She also always found a way. What was her nationality? Was she Serbian? Because I met some Serbs recently. I accidentally, can I say accidentally? It didn't really happen accidentally. It was me poking. But then it turned out that the dudes were actually Serbs. But I was commenting on the fact that, like, in one of our newspapers, there was a story about Srebrenica. And I was kind of like, look at this. It's the anniversary soon. Oh, damn, we need to somehow commemorate. I wonder if something's gonna happen locally. Got local Serbs being like, well, actually, everyone always talks about Srebrenica. No one really talks about how Bosnians in 1992 have killed some Serb family. Everyone always talks about this massacre, but no one really talks about a lesser massacre instead. Like, just to talk about it yourself then. You know, to go spread the word. When's the anniversary? You want us to light the candles or something? Why aren't you pointing it out? No, you're only pointing it out when it's the anniversary of Srebrenica because you want to be a little bitch boy. She was just a bitch. Shark is a shark. It ate Russian already. What was that about? I think technically, maybe they were scared of a shark getting some tummy ache and having master diarrhea. And what do you do then? Huh? It just fucks up the entire ocean. You don't know where the thing has been. Shark being trained in UK, USA biolabs. To be fair, I've seen a lot of NAFO dudes make memes about Budanov dressed in that shark suit. So,
The war in Ukraine has created the worst refugee crisis in Europe since World War II. Millions of Ukrainians have left their homes, fleeing chaos and devastation. But where did they go? The vast majority has fled to Europe using Poland as the main gateway.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you guys remember that one time on stream when we were talking about Serbs killing Kosovars? And our Serb in chat was like, oh yeah, okay, Serbs were killing Kosovars, but did you hear about this incident in the coffee shop? Bar thing? And then it was an actual situation where it was alleged that a bunch of Kosovo Albanians killed some Serbs in this bar. And then later it was investigated and it was found that it was likely Serbs staging the incident. So yeah.
But over 2.8 million Ukrainian citizens have made their way in the opposite direction, to the country that Ukraine is at war with. Since February 24th, Russia has accommodated more Ukrainian refugees than Poland and Germany combined. How did that happen? I found two Ukrainian families, one from Kiev and another from Kherson, that had to flee their homeland when the war came. One ended up in Russia and the other in the UK.
Но когда чашка кофе стоит 3.50, у меня волосы просто дыбом становились.
Stay with me if you want to learn more about their stories and what it's like to start out from scratch in Europe and Russia
like
if
4
you're fleeing
euros?
Ukraine.
Вы считаете себя украинками?
Уже нет. Даже не знаю.
First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who took part in the poll that I posted. Your opinion is very important to me, and you guys voted for my next video to be about Ukrainian refugees in Russia, so here we go.
Wait, what were the other ones? Russian car market and sanctions, Dagestan's fight factory, Russian winter travel, something that's not related to Russia.
About Ukrainian refugees in Russia, so here we go.
I want to be voting.
Although I gotta say, this wasn't an easy story to produce, mainly because not a lot of Ukrainian refugees in Russia are willing to speak on camera. I first noticed that those fleeing Ukraine for Russia shy away from the camera when saw them in Belgorod, a Russian region bordering Ukraine. I ran into a group of Ukrainians who'd come for food rations distributed by local volunteers.
How is life? How is everything?
Нет, вы не хотите?
Нам домой возвращаться. Нам и так сказали. Хандыхох нам будет.
Euros? I am. I actually am not. You know what's the thing? Kuna, 1 kuna used to be... No. 7.5 kunas was 1 euro. So now, for example, yesterday when we closed down the shop, we were counting the cash money that we have, and we had around 15 euros in tips. And you're like, that's not too much of a money. And then you're like, that is more than 100 kunas. That is actually a lot. Like, people will buy sausages and stuff like that, and you tell them the price in euros, and they're like, oh, this is really, really cheap. And then they, like, pause, and you see them calculating. You see them doing the math, and they're like, whoa, wait, it isn't. Because it seems like a lot less money than it is, and that's interesting to kind of watch. Everyone's, I think, kind of lying to themselves that they are spending a lot less money than they are spending. You see a lot bigger difference between start of the month and end of the month spending ability. 18 plus depends. So, for example, previously people used to be a lot better at making their money last the whole month. Now they're bad at it. Because it's like, you spend euro, 2, 3, 5. It doesn't seem like too much. It's like, it's tiny little cash. So it doesn't seem like it's worth a lot, But it is. That's a lot of money. So, yeah, I'm noticing that. But personally, you know what I think was the problem? We did a thing where we didn't switch. Twitch doesn't have the 18 plus thing. So it's not really a question to ask. Twitch doesn't do 18 plus. Twitch does mature, non-mature. You can't post 18 plus content on Twitch, actually. You can post mature content on Twitch. And whether or not you want to be watching mature content on Twitch is your choice only. So it by rules. There's no 18 plus stuff on Twitch. Hey, Mika. So yeah, overall, we did a thing with a slow switch. That's what I want to tell you. We did a thing with slow switching. So it was like right now in stores you still have to have the price in euros and kunas both. And I think if we switched to just euro prices, it would have been better because people wouldn't have to get used to them. But now they kind of used kunas as a crutch, and because they used kunas as a crutch, they haven't really gotten used to euro prices, and so it's just chaos. Mohammed kunas and tips in the local coffee shop on the beach in 7 days. Holy shit! Hey, DV, thank you for the sub. See what I mean? Look, technically, a sub right now is how much does a sub cost? $5 a month. And before this, it used to be like, I don't know, what was a sub before? Like 35 kunas or something? So I don't know. $3.99. Yeah, it sounds like a lot less money, but it isn't. But it sounds like a less money, so you're like, $3.99, bro, that's like change. You know, I can open the change part of my wallet and I can find €4 there. That's nothing. I couldn't find 30 kunas there. I could never have 30 kunas in the little change part, but I can have €4 in it. So it's like, it's a tiny amount of money, but it really isn't. I bought a Monster energy drink today in a can. Bought it for €2.09. I would never buy that shit in kunas. I would never think about buying that shit in kunas. But like in euros, I was like, yeah, this is change. Like I have it in my pocket. I would never have that change in my pocket in kunas. So yeah, like we're kind of used to it, but not really. Fun fact though, the market difference is so noticeable that we passed a law recently on Sunday working. So retail stores will not have to work as many Sundays as previously. But basically, there's 16 Sundays in a year we will have to be working. But because the law passed in action, started being in action on 1st of this month, there's 16 Sundays in half a year now that we have to be working. Basically, why this is important to know is that stores could choose which Sundays they want to work and which Sundays they do not want to work. And they chose to work the first 2 to 3 Sundays every month, depending on, you know, how many Sundays there are in the whole month. But it's like first 2 to 3. And then in December, we work all of them. And it's for the reason that people spend their money so fast because they're not fully accustomed to using euros that at the end of the month, they don't really have any money left. So they're not shopping anything in stores. I'm actually not done with my 600 days, but bro, I was getting angry today. I'm unironically thinking about doing 6 months and then moving away. That's unironically, that is the plan right now. I don't know if it's a product of me just being angry, because I was really, really angry today, and I was angry at job, and then I was angry at private life, and I'm just angry. I'm angry. I don't know if I'm like. Sometimes I have really strong emotions, and then I do the sexism thing to myself. I'm like, girl, are you PMSing? I'm like, I don't know, I shouldn't be, but yeah, maybe I'm hungry, maybe there's something, I don't know why I got such strong emotions, but like there's something wrong. So I'll see how it moves into next week. You were just about to PMS me. Yeah, but like genuinely, I'm like, am I PMSing? I'm not, but like maybe something with your hormones like gets messed up and you PMS outside of your PMS. I was just angry. And ironically, like I contacted my boyfriend before the stream and I was like, dude, like we're moving away. Start looking for apartments. We're not living here anymore. I am not staying around. So I'm trying to figure out how that moves because right now my contract for work is 6 months. And then I was supposed to prolong it, but I was really, really angry today. But you know, I still have like 5 months to do. So for now, I'm still stable. That's where some money goes, Monster Energies. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I mean, I'll be buying a camera soon. I already have... If you have camera for stream recommendations, let me know. Not something too good because I am Balkan and, you know, there's a certain amount of pixels on screen that is illegal for me to have, okay? So, not something too good, but if you have some recommendations, let me know. I also want to get some lights. Well, I want to get some fancy shit to kind of, how would I say this? Manipulate myself into being happy. You're taking him too? That's not real PMS then, or he'd be in the doghouse. He's the only normal person I know. Logitech 930, all streamers use. Oh. Wait, is that... I was looking at one of them, but I don't know which one I was looking at. Yeah, the thing is, I see them be like, this camera has this much pixels and this much frames per second. I don't know what that is. I don't know what any of those numbers mean. Like, is it a difference to you if I have like 30 FPS or 60 FPS? What's the difference to you? What's your reaction time? I don't know. So life is sad. You know what also is sad? This fucking video.
Вы как это понимаете? Вам в соцсетях что-то пишут или что? Или это объявление типа политиков?
Damn? What's
At
damn?
first, I went to Belgrade to record the life of ordinary Russians near the front line. Check out the video.
I should make it a... Hey, little Mo. Hey, yo, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? How was your stream? What did you talk about? Wait, let me do the shout out to see where you were. Domestic abuse against men? Holy shit, why is that a question? What? No, domestic abuse is wrong in any situation. You should be rotting in jail for it. That's what you should be doing. Rotting in jail forever. Look, I come from Balkan, okay? We have a long, not so proud history of domestic abuse. On men, on women, on anyone. So, we're inclusive when it comes to that, okay? Fucking sucks. We make a lot of excuses for it. It's kind of silly because sometimes I watch these people doing like stupid little debates on violence in relationships, and they make excuses which are very similar to like excuses I would fear absolute brain dead fuckers here say. So, Hey, hvala. It's less about politics today and more about me bitching. So, you know, if you like bitching, I guess that's cool. I was angry about life today. So, yeah. We are supposed to watch a lot of things, so... 20 minutes of video, 32 hours, technically. Okay, yeah, leave me alone.
If you missed it, I'll put the link in the description. In Belgrade, I quickly realized that just
I
like
was
Polish
bullied
border
at
towns
work
in Europe,
today,
this city is also
and
one
now
of the
you're
main
bullying
hubs for
me
Ukrainian
too.
refugees heading towards Russia. When I filmed this in October, there were many Ukrainians who had fled to Belgrade after Russian forces retreated from the neighboring Kharkiv region.
Behind me, there is a sports center, which is the largest hub for Ukrainian refugees coming into the Belgrade region. Normally you need an authorization to get inside and film there. Well, I don't have one.
Leave me alone.
But well, let's see if we can sneak in and maybe talk to some of the people inside.
I was lucky to be with Yevgeny, a well-known local volunteer who vouched for me so I could get in. Although filming inside the center was still frowned upon. The Western media have reported on the so-called filtration camps that Russia allegedly set up to vet incoming Ukrainians. So my first question to a man I met inside was if he was being held here against his will. As Evgeny told me, shelters like this are meant for those in dire straits who have no food, money, or place to sleep. If you stay here, you have to sign up for a government program and could be sent further into Russia, where local authorities must provide refugees with jobs and housing. Although some Ukrainians prefer to take care of themselves and stay closer to the border.
Некоторые беженцы, вот, допустим, в таком пункте временного содержания, а некоторые снимают свои квартиры в Белгороде. Ну, объяснение чаще всего одно и то же. Очень близко, сейчас все закончится, мы поедем домой. Зачем мы поедем там за 1000 километров, нас отправят куда-нибудь в какую-нибудь страшную Самару или Ярославль или еще что-нибудь.
This man told me he had lived in a small Ukrainian border town captured in the early days of the war. And this might sound odd to many, but he welcomed the Russian forces when they arrived. And when the Russians were forced to fall back from his hometown, he didn't want to stay and left along with the retreating army.
Почему не стали оставаться? Нет, так а что, мирные жители их же не трогают?
Там придурки вот эти поляки, шведы, американцы, по барабану.
Oh, why do I have this one?
А есть те, кто остаются? Украинцы, кто остается, и ждут прихода украинского.
Western journalists allowed into the areas recaptured by the Ukrainian forces have also reported on Ukraine's own vetting process to identify alleged Russian collaborators. According to the New York Times, even school teachers who continued working in Russian-controlled areas can be punished. Though I couldn't verify...
What? The teachers will be assessed on how active a role they played in preparing or promoting Russian propaganda for children.
School teachers who continued working in...
He presented as like school teachers who continued working are going to be punished, and the article is literally like, oh yeah, it will be assessed how much of a part they played in spreading Russian propaganda. Which is not the same thing as the one he says. That makes no fucking sense. That makes no fucking sense. I should have known when I seen his Kiev spelling that he's going to be weird. But like, you're literally having the article. He has the article and he's like highlights the teachers will be assessed.
Russian-controlled area.
And then punishment will be meted out accordingly. And he doesn't even like show this part on how active a role they played in preparing or promoting Russian propaganda for children. He like completely ignores this part. He's like, I hope no one's going to read this. I hope I'm just going to say teachers will be punished. I hope no one's going to read the part in between. Now he has gotten me angry. Teacher punishment videos.
Areas can be punished. Though I couldn't verify either
There's
the
good
Western
ways
media
to
reports
punish
or
teachers.
this man's claims.
And
What I
there's
can
bad
say
ways
with
to punish
confidence is that
teachers.
every single Ukrainian I met in Belgrade fled to Russia not because they wanted to, but because they were scared of what might have happened to them had they stayed in Ukraine.
I'm fucking angry now. I'm angry at this dude. Who the fuck is this dude?
Откуда вы знаете, что если бы вы остались, то вам бы обязательно украинские власти сделали плохо?
Who was they? Who was they?
Конечно же, понимая, что боевые действия уходят там на западную Украину, часть, а часть наоборот говорит, как по-русски зайдут, мы сразу же на эту сторону перепрыгнем. Во-первых, это спасет, например, мужчин от мобилизации.
Give me a second, my phone's ringing.
Почему? Потому что Россия не призывает украинских граждан в армию.
Evgeny took me to a place in Belgrade where he distributes food rations for Ukrainian refugees. The supplies were bought with private donations from a Telegram group that he runs. If you'd like to contribute to this cause, you can find info in the description.
печенье, сгущенка, кошара, крупы, масло.
То есть продукты питания, да?
Да.
The food was distributed at a local office of the Russian Communist Party where I found tons of Soviet memorabilia and even a book written by
I will
Kim
have to
Il-sung,
drive
North
to the
Korea's
vineyard,
founder
like,
and
now.
first president.
Hey,
The Ukrainians I met here were
how are you
frustrated.
doing?
Many had welcomed the Russian forces at the start
I'm
of the
having
war,
to
but had
drive,
to
like,
flee their
soon.
homes almost 9 months later when Ukraine recaptured the territory.
I'm thinking if I keep the stream going, but like I play something, or if I stop it and then start it again in like half an hour.
Дети учили непонятно какую программу. Вот когда я в школе училась, вот даже у нас Украина была, у нас была и русская литература, и украинская литература, русский язык, украинский язык. И Россия сразу зашла, люди встречали, махали руками, молодые солдаты заходили, да, нам сигналили, мы махали, мы угадывались.
А были те, кто, наоборот, за Украину, за то, чтобы...
Мы ждали, ну, опять-таки, все работали на Россию. Одна работала, и Россия пришла в сельском совете. Она при России работала, гуманитарку раздавала. Флаг русский повесила. Пришла Украина, украинский флаг повесила, гуманитарку
Just
украинскую.
beer fast. I can drink 2 beers.
Теперь наша судьба непонятна.
Because I'm older than 25, so I can drink 2 beers before, I think.
The only reason I'm giving you this backstory from Belgrade is so that you'll
You know what
understand
we're gonna
why
do?
out of 2.8 million Ukrainian
I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a break. I'm gonna play some shark documentaries. That's what I'm gonna be fucking doing. Just because I'm angry today. Oh, ha ha ha! Biggest sharks and most dangerous ones. Ooh, do we wanna watch that? Do we wanna watch that? What do we wanna watch on sharks? Coastal Seas, Sharks 101. Some dude eaten alive by shark? Why would you have that on YouTube? Why would you have that on YouTube? Surely it's not that. Mostly Vatnikville who will not accept Ukraine ever again. I don't think it is. You're not 17? I don't know. Depending on how many subs I could be getting if I was. My age changes, you know, depending on how much it pays off. Beer? I actually like beer. I'm a beer lover. I love beer, especially when cold. I just really, really enjoy it. I truly like the taste of beer. I don't know why. Like I've seen people bitching about beer. I don't know. Like I genuinely love it. Tastes good. Does it taste good? Do like none of you like beer? Truly, I like beer. I don't know. I think it tastes good. Hey, Diana. Diana's amazing. Her father went to Bakhmut front line. Very, very brave man. She has been collecting a lot of cash money to help him stay safe, basically. She's amazing. She pronounces the word Ukrainian wrong. Great. One of them, huh? Her father had a concussion, as far as I know, but he's okay. He's okay. He should be getting treatment, and he should be okay. So let's be happy over this, okay? Yay, Diana! Let's go, let's go, let's go. She's been amazing. She's been getting a lot of NAFO funds, and I'm very, very happy for this. How many subs donors for you to become 16? Every sub moves away 1 month of my life. So do the calculation. How much is that? Quite a lot, quite a lot. She's single? Who? Me? Depending on how many people sub to me. Look, guys, I don't want to be working, okay? I was really angry at my people today, okay? I need to, you know what I need to start? I need to start doing the thing with, like, getting my TDs out so I get more subs, so I never have to go back to work again, okay? That's what we're doing. Starting this week, the streams are going to be TD streams, so I don't have to be going back to my manual work, okay? That. I'm going to be telling everyone that I'm, like, 13 years old. Donbass? No normal Ukrainians left in occupied areas. How the hell do you think Ukraine can ever go back if there is such hostility? To be fair, Kraina had Serb propaganda. But it was for a shorter time. It was for like, let's say 5 years. It was for shorter, but I know what I want to say. I don't know how to make it sound nice. But it's not like when you liberate areas, it's not like you give a shit about what propaganda people on the areas have fallen for. You know, that's like your territory. And you have right to liberate it up to your borders. It doesn't matter how people on the territory feel. They are still in your territory. That is still part of your country. There's many countries you have around where you have people in certain areas falling for ideas of, how would I call it? Wanting to separate, and a country is not allowing them to separate, right? And the people are just staying as part of the country because they do not have the power nor the right to remove themselves from the country, you know? And I just think it's very similar to that when it comes to the situation of Ukraine with Donbass, or when it came to the situation of Croatia with our Ukraine. You know, it's like we had the right to liberate these areas. We liberated these areas. How people on the areas felt about it doesn't really matter as much as the fact that these are our areas. Like, according to international law, this belongs to us. You don't want to be part of this country, move somewhere else, but like you don't get to take away a chunk of the territory with you. It is not your inherent right to do so. The whole issue about Kosovo and why there's like so many debates over whether or not Kosovo is a real country is because there's a lot of questions over like how much should a population have a right to just like remove their territory from the territory of the state, you know? So, yeah, I don't really think it matters. He says they would accept us the first day we destroy Ruskies. Based. I'm hoping more people are like that. But yeah, gonna be playing you the shark documentary, and I have to drive to the vineyard really quick. So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm leaving you here watching at sharks and learning more about sharks, because sharks are really Russia friendly. Retweet this picture if you want to hear fucking Russians whine. Is this going to like get me on the ban list somewhere? We need to get a shark plushie. I need to get one and just like put it on my bed in the back. I need to do that. Going to update my title to like Shark Week. Shark Appreciation Week. That's what we're doing. This whole week we are going to be looking at shark stuff. I have just now decided that because I don't know, I'm kind of angry, and also I have to drive and I didn't really feel like driving. But yeah, gonna be going to the vineyards really quick to pick my relatives up, to drive them to their house. It shouldn't take too long. It's like 2 minutes drive there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping it will not take long. I'm going to be driving as fast as I can. So that's what you need to know. What emote is that? Proud anti-dolphin action. That's kind of cool. So here's your shark documentary, and I'm coming right back. Go get something to drink. Go get something to eat. Subs have the ability to be silencing people, so feel free to bully people with strikes. You know how strikes work, right? Let me show you the strike. You use strike command, then you type in the username. For example, we're going to be using the username of Ska Motri P65. This is new Simpa-Ruski account, okay? But you use strike and you use the account, and then you give them a strike. And it says this account has received 1 strike because they deserve a strike. So you don't need to give us any other explanations as to why you gave them a strike. For the other ones, there's like questions to ask and everything. For this one, it's just like you got a strike because you're a bitch and you have a strike. So, so yeah, that's about it. I will be running really quick now, leaving you with sharks. So go get something to eat, and we will be right back because I still have like 2.5 videos to show you. Holy shit! And then we gotta go and raid Thompson. So. Okay, keep the schedule, running back.
The ocean, like Africa, has its own big 5. sharks. Shark. There are few words that have such attention-grabbing power. The most feared is the great white. There's also the biggest fish in the ocean, the whale shark. Most sharks swim alone or in loose groups, but hammerheads can congregate in their hundreds. To be surrounded 360 by sharks is for some a must-do experience. The tiger of the ocean is one of the few sharks that is known on rare occasions to kill people. But the bull shark claims the title of the most dangerous to humankind. At up to 6 meters long and the biggest predatory fish in the ocean, this is the shark many crave to see, yet hope never to meet unexpectedly. Close encounters from a boat provide a powerful natural high. It's a definitive adrenaline burst that's only topped by cage diving with these awe-inspiring fish. Freediving, the ultimate experience, is only for professionals who know the lie of the ocean floor and which sharks are relatively safe to swim with. Remarkably, scientists have found each one has a different character. Some are shy and cautious, others bold and confident. The fact that freediving is possible at all shows that the propaganda surrounding great whites, generated originally from the infamous film Jaws, is largely unfounded. This monster movie terrified audiences. It exploited the iconic image of the dorsal fin as a symbol of death at sea. Initially, the impact of the film had tragic consequences for great whites and many other shark species. Jaws did irreparable damage to the great white shark's reputation. Every time there's another shark attack, panic reactions and hyped press coverage reinforce the old stereotype. Killing sharks was regarded as ridding the sea of a pestilent menace. But sharks have been in the ocean for 400 million years. They deserve our respect and to be better understood. To many people's surprise, Jaws also had a positive knock-on effect. It inspired fascination and changed the world by raising ocean awareness. In the Bahamas, a dead bull shark is brought in for a scientist to discover the cause of death. It's a perfect opportunity to teach the next generation just how amazing sharks really are.
Identifying feature of a bull shark. Where this dorsal fin comes in is directly in line, if not posterior, to the back of the pectoral fin.
50 years ago, it was extremely hard to get funds to study sharks. Now, the world is hungry for information about them. Marine biologists and educators have urged people to shed the perception of the great white shark as a vengeful, man-eating machine in favour of a complex, misunderstood, ancient sea creature. Great white sharks are not wanton killers, and in fact, they don't want to eat humans at all. They do occasionally bite people, but it's now thought that this is due to curiosity or mistaken identity. In South Africa, surfers and swimmers are warned not to go into the sea when the water is rough or murky. When they can't see clearly, great whites are thought to mistake the outline of a swimmer or surfer for seals, their natural prey. Stealthy, skilled predators, the sharks launch their attack from depth, biting as they close in on their target. When they grasp a human, they more often than not let go. The triangular serrated teeth of the great white are efficient cutting tools for biting large chunks from mammalian prey. Tragically, for their mistaken human victims, their first bite can cause fatal damage. The reason they let go is because it's thought that people are not nutritious enough for great whites to be worth hunting. Seals and sea lions are the mainstay of an adult's diet. These marine mammals have a good layer of blubber to keep them warm in a cold sea. Fat produces twice the energy of muscle, so it's an ideal food for these sharks. Surprisingly, great whites are not, like most fish, cold-blooded. They can regulate their body temperature, raising it up to 14 degrees in cold seas. Being relatively warm-blooded is one of the factors that have allowed great whites to inhabit temperate waters that are too cold for many other shark species. A warm body allows the shark's muscles to work more efficiently, and it is this that enables them to produce bursts of energy needed to catch their prey. The great whites living off the coast of California hunt elephant seals, as well as sea lions and harbour seals. Off the coast of South Africa, here near Cape Town, they target Cape fur seals. The common name, white shark, is a misnomer. Although the shark does present a striking white belly when hauled out of the water, it's more slate grey than white. An adult swimming close to the seabed is well camouflaged and hard for a seal to spot from above. Unable to see them, but knowing sharks may be below, adult seals travel fast. They present the great whites with a speeding objective that is hard to target. Pups, still learning to perfect their swimming skills, are easier to catch. Seal milk is rich. The pups grow fast, and at weaning, 50% of their weight can be fat. The seals give birth on offshore islands. Researchers have found that the sharks congregate near the islands when the weaned pups have to venture into the open ocean to hunt for fish. Great whites are thought to grow about 25 to 30 centimeters a year, so need rich food to enable them to achieve this. The young seals are not yet fast or proficient swimmers. They can't hold their breath underwater for long, and their high fat content makes them buoyant. They have no experience of sharks and haven't learned how to evade an attack. A good seal meal may provide enough energy to sustain a shark for a week or more. The sharks themselves bear the unmistakable tooth marks of their own kind. The subordinates get put in their place with bites from dominant individuals. Great whites are mavericks among sharks. They have colonized cold temperate waters where seals are abundant. By gorging on seal fat, the shark derives thermal energy from the same insulating tissue that keeps its prey warm. And they can travel great distances. Research has shown that sharks from California can swim to Hawaii and back. Another tagged in South Africa showed up in Western Australia. There's new information about their movements and habits off the coast of South Africa. Young great whites swim along the coast, hunting bottom-dwelling fish. Once they grow a little bigger, they eat bigger fish like mackerel, tuna, and bonito. Only when they reach about 3 meters long do they start feeding on seals and sea lions. tagging research has shown that great whites come inshore much more frequently and much closer to people than anyone had previously suspected. The very small number of attacks by great whites again suggests that people are not on their menu. Adults are now known to rest inshore where there is a slack in the current or tide. On open water species, great whites generally avoid kelp forests. Smaller species, like the pajama and other cat sharks, seek shelter in the forest. Seven-gill sharks also frequent the kelp. Although they hunt the smaller species at night, there seems to be an uneasy truce as they rest in the forest during the day. While some great whites stay near the coast all year round, others move offshore and remain in deep water for 4 to 6 months. The more we find out about great whites, the more we turn previous beliefs about them upside down. Fascinating and intriguing they are. Wanton man-eaters they are not. Even so, people should be wary of all big sharks. Except for plankton feeders, like the whale shark. Tourists worldwide make great efforts to swim with the whale shark. Despite being the world's largest fish, it is no threat to us. Here in Mozambique, snorkeling or diving with one of these incredible fish can make for an experience of a lifetime. It's one that is on a par with seeing Africa's better known terrestrial and iconic Big Five: lions, rhinos, leopard, buffalo and elephant. Whale shark ecotourism is worth millions of dollars annually worldwide, with many small communities benefiting financially. Practically nothing was known about the biology of this shark up until about 15 years ago. Since that time, there has been a veritable explosion of interest in the world's largest fish. A fish, not a mammal, the whale shark originated about 60 million years ago. It can reach up to 14 meters and probably live up to 100 years old. It is migratory and seasonally turns up at regular food sources. Between November and January every year, off the coast of Djibouti, at the Horn of Africa, hundreds of mainly male juvenile whale sharks gather to feed. Offshore upwellings enrich surface waters. This phenomenon triggers plankton blooms that in turn can initiate a spectacular gathering of giants. It's obvious that these sharks are all young, as the tails of juveniles have larger upper than lower lobes. The spots and patterns are unique to each individual. Photographic records enable scientists to count populations and assess which sharks return each year. Very similar spot patterns support the idea that some sharks may be litter mates. The Djibouti aggregations are exceptional in that they contain the smallest whale sharks found in the world, some only 2 meters long. It's thought that at this length, the sharks are just reaching their first birthday. Where they are born and spend their first year of life is unknown. It's possible that this region is a sort of entry point for young whale sharks. When they grow bigger and can compete with larger whale sharks, they move on to other aggregation sites. Where they come from, where they go, and why there are more males than females at Djibouti remain unanswered questions. Whale sharks feed on plankton, fish eggs, and small fish. They actively gulp in water and filter food from it using their pink gill rakers. The sharks feed day and night, maximizing their intake when food is available. In the Maldives, plankton blooms generally occur between May and November. The surfeit of food attracts whale sharks, but they are not alone in exploiting this resource bonanza. Spectacular feeding trains of hundreds of manta rays glide by in a steady stream. Barrel rolling and intent on feeding, the mantas often bump into each other as well as the whale sharks. When the plankton sinks to the seabed, the mantas bottom feed, turning their cephalic lobes outwards rather than inwards to maximise the flow through their gill rakers. The whale shark has a circumglobal distribution in tropical and warm temperate seas. Moving between seasonal food sources means they can travel vast distances. The longest recorded whale shark journey spanned 13,000 kilometers and took over 36 months. Researchers have discovered that whale sharks make very deep and long dives, down to 1,280 meters, where temperatures drop to around 3 degrees. This is the deepest dive of any shark. Tags that record depth and acceleration have revealed that deep dives may make travelling long distances more efficient. The sharks glide deep down and then gently beat their tails and ascend at a very shallow angle. In this way, the whale sharks travel a maximum range with minimum energy expenditure. Once back at the surface, they rest and warm up. They cannot regulate their body temperature to the same degree as great whites. The secret life of this colossal yet elusive giant is very slowly beginning to be unravelled, but there is still so much to discover. In Scottish waters, another huge ocean traveller, the basking shark, is the second largest living fish. While not in the top 5, it is a close contender, so deserves recognition. Recent research has revealed cutting-edge discoveries about this shark too. In contrast to the whale shark, the basking shark is a passive feeder that is unable to pump water across its gills. The plankton that it feeds on is filtered out by pinkish brush-like gill rakers. Every so often, it closes its jaws and gulps 3 to 5 times to swallow. Basking sharks are seen feeding at the surface, but as deep-sea shrimps have been found in their stomachs, it's apparent that they feed at depth as well. A feeding basker can filter up to 2,000 tons of water per hour. Many adult basking sharks bear white scars. Those on the pectoral fin may be due to the male biting the female in a mating embrace. The sharks rubbing against one another during courtship can result in abrasions on their noses. Below the caudal fin on the back of this shark are some long white scars caused by lampreys. Lampreys are eel-like jawless primitive vertebrates. These are parasitic, feeding on the flesh and fluids of their hosts. While lampreys may be an irritation, they are not the reason for the basker's dramatic decline. Basking shark numbers are now at an all-time low. There are possibly only 8,000 left worldwide. They're protected in British waters, but recent research has shown that this is not enough. Satellite tags have revealed that some of these sharks make remarkable transoceanic migrations. A female tagged off the west coast of England travelled over 9,500 kilometres, sometimes at a depth of around 1,200 metres, all the way to Newfoundland, off the east coast of Canada. While transoceanic migrations take the sharks out of protected areas, recent evidence points to a slow recovery of the species in British waters. No such positive story for the scalloped hammerhead. Their numbers have recently plummeted, a tragedy not only for the sharks, but for the people whose dream it is to swim with them. Spectacles like this off the coast of Costa Rica are high on many divers' must-see list. Hammerheads have long been regarded as dangerous, but it's been found that these sharks generally do not attack unless provoked, and there have been no fatalities. Hammerheads have a fused upper jaw and small mouth. They're not adapted for prey the size of humans, but to grab fish, squid, octopus, and crustaceans. Their hammer-shaped head is thought to have evolved to maximize the area of electrosensory pores in the skin. These special sensors provide the shark with a sort of sixth sense. They're used to detect chemical, physical, and thermal changes, as well as the electrical fields of prey species, including those buried in the seabed. The hammer shape allows these sharks to scan significantly larger areas than other shark species. The positioning of the eyes, mounted well out on the sides of the head, also give them good 360-degree vision, so they can see above and below at all times. Just like humans, scalloped hammerheads can get a suntan. When swimming in shallow water or close to the surface, shark skin produces more of the pigment melanin and darkens considerably to protect sharks from the ultraviolet light of the sun. Recent research revealed that these hammerheads congregate in schools near seamounts or underwater mountains by day. The mount is a vital cleaning station where wounds can be tended and parasites and dead skin removed by cleaner fish. The sharks invite the cleaners to them by floating or swimming slowly just above the mound. Hammerheads are not the only sharks around the seamount. Threatened white-tip reef sharks rest in sheltered crevices. These small sharks can suck water into their mouths and pump it out over their gills to breathe. Unlike the hammerheads, they can remain stationary to sleep during the day. While hammerheads migrate, visiting the seamount seasonally when the water is warm, the white-tips stay within a particular area for years, time and again returning to the same shelter. Why hammerheads should swim in schools was a mystery. Prey fish congregate to gain safety in numbers, but hammerheads are at the top of the food chain, so have little need to gather together for protection. Painstaking research using video cameras and acoustic tags has revealed the schools may be mating aggregations. Most of the sharks are females that compete with each other for a central position. Males select mates from those around the core, and then the pair leaves to mate in seclusion. At night, hammerheads swim out, each one alone to feed up to 20 kilometers away. The white-tip reef sharks also become active after dusk, but they hunt in groups. Their elongated bodies allow them to wriggle into crevices and between rocks to flush out hidden prey. A turtle is unfazed by the pack of sharks and carries on picking algae off the rocky seabed. The sharks are after smaller prey, like crustaceans and sleeping fish. Flushed from a hiding hole, fish face a host of hungry mouths. Communal life is not for all sharks. The great hammerhead swims alone. The largest species of its kind, it is reported to reach around 6 meters in length. Endangered and wary, it's not often lured within range for scientists to study.
Hey yo. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, I'm back.
Although potentially dangerous, it rarely attacks humans. It sometimes behaves inquisitively towards divers and, like all large sharks, should be treated with respect. Great hammerheads are heavily fished for their large fins for the Asian shark fin soup trade. In some areas, numbers are down by 80%.
By the way, we gotta watch our videos. But what I need to show you. Jellyfish? Is this how you write jellyfish? Croatia. The jellyfish thing in Croatia. I don't know how many jellyfishes we have, but I do know that we're having huge jellyfish recently, and it's the result of global warming. We're having these, whatever the fuck this is. So last year was my first time going to what's the word? Seaside. And I was there on vacation, and I actually looked into this quite a lot. And yeah, we got these fuckers in the sea right now, and it's because of the global warming, we do not have some sort of fish that used to be eating these jellyfishes. So they were usually all eaten before they reached our shores, but right now they're not eaten because this fish is not in abundance anymore because of the global warming. So we do have these jellyfishes now. We have a lot of these. This is like a fried egg jellyfish. I've heard these ones are not too dangerous. They just look disgusting. I don't know if you've ever seen it. They look disgusting. But like these ones, is this the compass one? I think that's the compass one. Yeah, that's the compass jellyfish. This one is actually going to kill you. So yeah. And also there's a bunch of these. A lot more these than usual. Comb? Is that how they're called? They used to have a name. Walnut? Walnut jellyfish? Sea walnut. We have a lot of these. It looks exactly like this. It's just there's a bunch of them in the water. So when you go to dive, you just, like you see everything clearly, and then a part of your vision is like blurred because of these fuckers, but there's like millions of them. Also because of the global warming, there's a lot more of these than before. So it's not really a pleasant sight, to be honest. It's weird. They don't like sting or anything when you go into them. They don't like. But it just looks slimy, and there's always like a whole group. I'm already not single, my dude. I'm already not single. By youngifying me with the subs, all you're doing is giving my boyfriend a younger girlfriend. Who not in the sea? It was Astra. It was all of us. Who did not nut in the sea? Me, because I have no nuts. But if I was a dude, what is this? Okay, fair. That's fair. For reals though, like you. My man, have you ever thought about not attempting to have online relationships because they're not really healthy for you? Have you ever thought about having IRL relationships with people who live in real life? Might be good, might be a good choice. I was thinking about the shark snagging on the guy in Turkey. Ooh. Let's do the donation first. The response to that question directly depends on the amount of donations we get on the stream. I need to make a thing. I need to add a stream goal. It's going to be like the minimum monthly wage in Croatia, and that's how much I need to get per month, and then you have a choice. Can't make any other adult woman IRL my age with donations. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you absolutely sure? Because I'm just saying, with my experience with older women, a lot of them would like not to be working. I'm just saying. But also, yeah, probably. Also, I guess older men usually have way more cash money to donate. Like if I didn't feel like working that badly, I would probably go for a older dude, cause he would have cash. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. All of these good, but like all of these stuff that we already know about. So I don't need to show you these. I do need to show you this one though. Feeling called out. Could you buy an older woman with your donations, DB? Do you think you could? Have you ever bought an older woman? I know a dude who claimed that he was dating a 40-year-old when he was 18, and now you're making me interested. To make your 15 would be millions of dollars. See. So you better start with earning cash money. You better go to a good school and, have a proper job. Go be a CEO or something. That's a good plan for the future. It's a good motivation. Why would I buy an older woman when I can have a younger one? Because older ones are better at cooking. That was very sexist. Older ones have more experience in certain parts of life. I guess that's it. 15-year-olds can't be CEOs. Yeah, sure, they can't. But like 18-year-olds can, and it's only a 3-year difference. It's not too much, so... Can I make baklava? See, stuff like that. Sarma. How many young women do you know who can make sarma? No one. Okay, they don't. It's something you learn at the age of like 25 or something, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's the cutoff. But also, like, young people are relatively stupid, so that's also a problem.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be great.
Every year, the culture, mob
Holy shit,
ideologies
he's really
penetrate
loud for me.
deeper into society in the West, specifically in the United States. Governments want to push these ideologies.
Rafael?
They want to push this. They want to push that.
What did that say?
Want to
CEO of Wealth Expert. Holy shit, I read like wealthy twat, and I was like, huh? Rafael Sintron. Yeah, young people are stupid. Every single young person is stupid. Young people being stupid is how I get in, though. Okay, fair. All of them are dumb, though. Just every single one of them dumb as fuck. Puerto Rican. Hey, look at this. See, spicy. See, Puerto Rican 22-year-old built a 7-figure e-commerce bullshit. Business. He built a business. See, it's possible. And now he can go and seduce 60-year-old women all he wants because he has a 7-figure e-commerce. So that's your plan for the future. Write it down. Use Shopify. I would do this. How do I do this? I need to start watching those like finance bros to learn how to finance so I don't have to work. Use a proper idiot shit.
push these ideologies. They want to push this. They want to push.
But he made a lot of money. To be fair, Andrew Tate made a lot of money, so.
That. What are some countries that you can go around the world to absolutely escape all of this and live a traditional, regular life?
Actually, I'm wondering that as well.
I'm right now in Russia, which might be a controversial country for many people, but also here in Russia, it is one of the most traditional countries that you will see in the world. Absolutely no PC, absolutely no of this.
Okay.
And you have a society that functions better than in the United States, not this degeneracy that we've been seeing all over the West.
I don't know about that one, my guy. I think you're saying the quiet part out loud. Hello, Blazers. It is your boy Roman.
Oh yeah, that's because, like, look, every single teenager has a hard time managing their feelings. This is why we never take their feelings seriously. It's a struggle that comes with being a teenager, you know? Everyone older usually looks at you and is just like, this kid, they're gonna grow out of it. Yeah. It's a normal thing to go through, you know, figuring out how to manage your feelings and then also figuring out how to manage the fact that no one really cares about your feelings. These are very useful skills to know for when you get older. It's something that's going to help in your adult life. So it's actually good you're going through this. It's like a learning experience, you know.
Favorite neighborhood Russian, hi guys, doing today? Welcome to a brand new video, and in today's video, guys, we are going to learn about the best countries in the world to move to if you want to escape the woke Western culture. That is right, people. You know, I personally left my country of Russia over than a year ago, and I've been looking for a brand new country to live in, and thankfully, I stumbled across this channel here called Wealthy Expat. Essentially, this is a channel that tells you all about different countries and taxes and residencies to get there, telling you how you can get citizenships in different countries, and in general, this is content that is actually pretty informational and educational, but apart from just telling people what country has the lowest tax rate or which country has the best visas and citizen options, Wealthy Expat also loves to talk about best countries to escape woke culture, the best countries to escape the Western world, as well as what countries you need to move to in order to escape the Matrix.
Hey, your hikes.
Yes, guys, I'm pretty sure that by that intro you've already guessed
How's
what I'm
life
pretty much gonna
going?
be talking about this video. In this video, we're gonna be looking at another.
I'm having a day of being angry at life. So we're watching another dude be angry at life, and also some blocky idiot who made a lot of cash money. Where's the blocky idiot? This is the blocky idiot. So popular YouTuber like Roman can find a Westerner to marry him for a visa. I mean, he's earning a lot of money from his YouTube. Maybe he can go seduce some 60-year-olds. Hey, talking about traditional countries though. How would I... divorce rate per country? Like, what's a metric by which you would figure out what is a traditional country and what isn't? Is it divorce rate? Highest? Lowest? Where's the lowest? Okay, lowest. Sri Lanka, Guatemala, Vietnam, St. Vincent Grenadines, Peru, South Africa, Chile, Colombia, Ireland, Malta. So like we would say these. We would say these, right? Nauru? Hey, sorry, Nauru is not on the list. Nauru is not on the list. Protege. I had one beer. For now. Nauru statistics. No, I want specifically divorce rate. Population. I don't care. Fuck, I'm not seeing it. Mini census highlights. Come on. They have like 11,000 people and you can't count how many divorces you have. Come on. Come on. Society at a glance. Come on. Not even here. Across the Asia Pacific, the mean age of first marriage increased by 3 years on average. I don't care about this. I want to see your divorce rate. What's Croatian divorce rate? Number of divorces per 1,000 population, 1.5. In Russia, it's 3.9. In United States, it's 2.7. Therefore, when it comes to divorce rate, United States would be seen as more traditional country than Russia is. So, like, why would you be escaping West? Because according to these, the only thing you would be doing by escaping West is escaping functional marriages and then going into shit marriage territory. Why would you do that to yourself? Then what is also, it's like, what else would be? Like number of children? I'm pretty sure Russia would fare well on that one. Per country. Fertility rate, okay. Fertility rate. I guess Russia would be good on the fertility rate, right? No, wait, it wasn't doing well recently. International organizations. $137? Oh. Population replacement is 2.1, so Russia is below population replacement. Wait, Croatia is 2, right? 1.4, yeah, we are worse. USA. 1.6. Americas. Oh, continents 1.9. Hey, see rate of child marriages. I could look into that one. But yeah, I'm guessing. I don't know which metrics you would be looking at. 6.8. Hey, Nauru may be here. Nauru! We don't know. Fertility rate in 2023, 2.58. Nauru's doing well, actually. Nauru seems rather successful. 3.5? Dude, Nauru is doing well. They're having a lot of kids and also no divorces. You want to escape the West? Go to Nauru. Why would you go to Russia? Russia is like a worse version of the West. Russia is like the West if it has been thrown in trash and then rotten. Fair. Cluster. Fair. Fucking cruel but fair. Let's go watch this.
Westerner telling other Westerners that living in poor countries with no human rights is actually very, very based because they disallow gay people to exist, basically. And I can't exactly say that.
Gay people. LGBT per country. My man, what are you trying to do? LGBT rise by country or territory? No, can we like look at population? Is that? Okay, here it is, okay. I guess Russia would be traditional on this one, right? Oh, there's no Russia here. I need... no rights, I need population. Okay. Maybe this. Let me see Russia. Ha! Look, when I Google LGBT population by country and then I click on Russia, it says population is 144 million, which is every single Russian. You're gay, is what I've learned today. One Georgian restaurant has hung its Wi-Fi data on the wall. Putin, Huila, Abkhazia is Georgia. Oh. LGBT rights are by state rights. Oh shit, yeah, that too. Now that I think about it, it's kind of interesting that when you look at these statistics, it's always like technically you are one country, you know? But it's weird they don't like split it up into specific states. Because the differences between the states would be huge, right? Yeah, it's just showing me this one. That's it. By country, and then you have like 5 of them. Great. Fucking great. Just amazing. Well, my research so far has shown nothing.
I'm a big fan of this content.
Canada, all over Europe, Australia, all these countries, we've been seeing kids getting absolutely indoctrinated into these ideologies, into this culture.
AKA you cherry picking this bullshit because you hate trans people.
I mean, it's okay, he cares. He's a stream like regular. Stream regulars can care.
And they just, you know, jerking each other off and hating on gay people in a huge circle jerk. I know you love Matt Walsh and fucking Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder. I know what you're like, Raphael. I know you're kind. This is something that is not happening on a massive scale, and nobody's planning for it to happen on a massive scale. However, you red pill propagandists exploit it to a massive scale in order to destroy trans identity. You want to use children in order to manipulate people that don't want to do their research, in order to basically just outlaw trans and gay people.
Wait, how would... Wait. Why would you being United Republics not make you a democracy? Couldn't you be a United Democratic Republics? Why can't you be that? I'm not sure that removes your democracy. It doesn't make you a federation. Could see that one. Co-federation? Federation? What's the difference? Are you a federation or are you a confederation? The fuck are you? Oh, like European Union when it federalizes. Finnish Minister for European Affairs played Joanna Kalina on Tsela. What? No. Cold. It's some German thing. It's this one. I like this one. It's golden. And it's also cheap. Wanted to buy some Osechko. And then I was like, eh. I'm gonna buy a monster instead. Dude. That is beautiful. Finnish Minister for European Affairs. What a beautiful man. This amazing. Wait, which state is not a democracy? Which, how, why? Calls itself a federation, but it's more like a mafia state. Oh, that's like Yugoslavia before it crumbled. Oh, maybe we're looking at a bright future in front of Russia. State rights? But like, do you have one of them lacking in democracy? Like the tweet. True. I should remember to do that. Okay, fair. I did. I even retweeted. You're welcome. Okay. I tried. Oh, fuck you. Now I want to pull it back.
They want to push this. They want to push
Is it?
that. What are some countries that you can go around the world to absolutely escape?
Oh no, not Hawaii.
Those are. I need to move there immediately, bro.
How many people live in Hawaii?
Basically, yes, I'm pretty passionate about this because I actually do have some trans friends now in real life, and they're people just like me. Okay, that's the only thing I can really fucking say. And there was a point in my life when I was younger and I was like a red pill guy, when I also kind of basically was hating trans people just because I was indoctrinated into
too many
speakers. But yes, I'm passionate about this stuff because he's talking about the human rights of people I personally know. I don't know why I have to make excuses for this anyway, right?
Bro, I can't afford to go to Croatia for holidays. I'm going to Hawaii.
Masculinity. Women that reward masculinity. A society that functions without all of this PC culture.
What does that mean? How is your masculinity rewarded daily in these countries? Oh my fucking god. Like, these people, they genuinely think.
Okay, but Roman's not understanding it. Okay, their masculinity is being rewarded by the fact that they go to a war to die. What is more manly than going to a war and then dying there? Nothing. You're a proper man. Go. Just go there. Super crowded, except the big island. There's some smaller ones. What was the thing with Hawaii? I followed for a while on TikTok. Fuck, I haven't used TikTok for months. But I used to be following USA activists for a while because I was trying to figure out what happens in your politics, and there were people against going for vacations to Hawaii so often. But I don't remember. I don't remember how well the whole thing was going, but apparently it's like exploiting the local population, and a lot of people are planning to move there, and they are something like the whole place is becoming overcrowded because a lot of tourists are getting all touristy about the place, and they have this like dreamy idea what it is to live there. So they move in and kind of take the spots away from people who, are there already. Top of a volcano isn't a good holiday destination. I think, it depends on what you want to do for holidays. Like, you want to be somewhere where it's cold and chilly and your life will be safe. I mean, I don't know, just go to like Sweden or some shit. You want to be, impossible death, danger, go to top of a volcano. I'm just saying, like, for me right now, if I knew I had to return to my job after vacation, yeah, if you want to potentially die, yeah, Yay. I'd have to look into it. I would have to do calculations, like pros and cons. Pros, you die. Pros, you don't live. Want a lot of tourists out because of some bullshit. I can't remember, even though 98% of their income is from tourism. Ah, okay, that makes sense. It's like here. It's like here. When seaside people hear bitch about the Germans coming to be tourists, but then like their entire living depends on Germans coming here and spending a lot of cash money. So it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you being against people who are feeding you? Come on.
That in the Eastern world, there's no people that are like quote-unquote woke or whatever. They literally think that every single person coming from Eastern Europe or Russia is like a fucking conservative, fucking anti-LGBT, like, maniac, basically, right? That's not the case, my guy. No country is a hive mind, and not all people in a particular country think the same.
The first ones I would say is a bucket of Muslim countries. Obviously, Muslim people do not accept anything of this PC culture, of this culture, anything like that. They do not accept it. Usually countries...
Why doesn't he say it? Is he scared to say woke?
These ideologies, they are completely separating themselves from the United States.
Of course it's Dubai. Of course it's Dubai, dude.
Dubai is the most multicultural place in the world. And you will not see any racism. You will not see any special treatment to any minorities.
Fair.
Oh my god.
Fair. We have very traditional Eastern European countries. We have Serbia. That's obviously why I'm applying for Serbia.
Orthodox brothers, guys. Let's go.
He's applying...
balance between the East...
Is he? Did he start saying he's applying for Serb citizenship?
And the west of the world, they do not comply with whatever Europe or the United States are saying, but they do maintain that friendship with them. They don't want to be an adversary, but they also are not indoctrinating their kids or anything like that.
Yeah, because
I don't think my man is aware in Serbia. When he says Serbia is filled like with traditional people and everything, I don't know if he's aware that he would be seen as a pussy-ass bitch for live streaming. I don't know if he's aware of how Serbia works in this regard, but my man would be bullied to death and back for doing a job like this for a living. My man would be bullied back to wherever the fuck he came from, okay? No chance Serbs would accept him as one of their own. Absolutely no fucking chance. Anyone in Balkan even. For a dude to be sitting in front of a camera doing his little speeches, no, my man. But also, like, applying for Serbian citizenship, what in the world could it give you? Holy shit, why would you do that to yourself? At least if you want to apply to a citizenship of a Balkan country, maybe get Bosnian. I can even get Bosnian citizenship, but maybe try to get into Bosnia. Because I feel like Bosnia is a lot closer to European Union, and I feel like Bosnia could give you a lot more advantages. Serbia is giving you nothing. So there's no point. Get Kosovo. Kosovo probably has, like, better passport rights than Serbia has.
Because we know that the requirement to enter the Western world is to start indoctrinating you kids into becoming trans. We all know that's like a written thing.
For no, Croatia, no.
Sign up to the European Union. Again, this
we would beat him up.
Orthodox country in a lot of ways, but
I would beat him up.
It's also pretty progressive. And also, if you talk to young people in Serbia, a lot of people there are pretty progressive. So, like, his view of these countries is just so one-sided because he only hangs out a lot of ways, but to be honest, it's also pretty progressive. And also, if you talk to young people in Serbia, a lot of people there are pretty progressive.
I feel like you could say that, but also I feel like at the same time, to be fair, to give some right to the blocky dude, it is true that there's less progressive people in Serbia than you would expect in a normal country. I'm not sure how you would be like fully measuring this, but there's a lot more conflict between the two extremes. There's a lot more conflict between people who just absolutely hate on anything progressive and then the progressives. So, you know, it makes me feel like there's a lot bigger rift than you would see in some other countries. Because, like, for example, now they're having conversations about trans people. And the conversation right now is happening specifically because there was a trans girl who was killed recently in Serbia. So they're having a lot of conversations about it. And it's weird to see the way they are responding to it. Like, you will have a group of young Serbian people just being normal and sharing links to organizations where you could donate to help trans people. There's people who are sharing like memories and everything. The girl in question was a TikToker too, so a lot of people are sharing memories of her, and it's all like good on one side of Serb internet, and then the other side is just people being absolutely fucking hateful as if it's the most normal thing ever. When you go to like 4chan, imagine the worst possible comments you could see on the 4chan. They're having a discussion around that, like a whole ass discussion over very problematic themes, because the rift is so great. Like on one hand you have Eastern Europeans who are hating on anything different, and then on the other hand you have kids who have spent a lot of their time on the internet, so they are a lot more progressive, and the rift is just huge. So I guess for someone who would want to move to a more traditional country, I feel like it would be easier for him to find a group of hateful pricks willing to share his views in Serbia than it would be in some other countries, possibly. Was the person killed for being trans or just killed to be killed? Oh yeah, no one really knows, basically. No one really knows. We do know she was killed by her boyfriend. We do know he was way older. To me, it kind of seems like a, what's the word? Balkan relationship with an age gap. That's what it seems like to me. We have this thing in Balkans. A lot of our people are very, very proud of being very trashy when it comes to this, but it's kind of normalized for older people to have relationships with very, very young people. It's like, how last stream we talked about how weird it is that there's this part of culture which is like people are very proud of not knowing certain things. Like people have no idea what's going on in politics and they're proud about it. It's like a matter of national pride in a way. It's like that in Balkans with huge age gap relationships too. People are proud of the fact that we are allowing these and we are normalizing them. It's a very, very weird thing to have. But yeah, right now they're basically being like, so we have an older dude. He was 33. So the dude is 33. He was in a relationship with an 18-year-old, and then he killed the mentioned 18-year-old. Do we admit that age gap relationships are not healthy, or do we admit that maybe he just hated trans people, in which case we have to admit that she was killed for being trans? So like in a way we have to admit one part of this was a problem. What was it? What are we going to admit? And then you have like two factions of society, each one of them trying to figure out what was actually, the biggest problem here. Hey, Mr. Big Cat, how's life? Younger man, older woman. I'll see what's trashy. Oh, it's trashy. It's very, very trashy. The trashy part is the fact that until the age of 25, hikes based, don't date until 25. Until the age of approximately 25, each person is an imbecile. Now, there's a thing with like two young people dating in which they both are imbeciles, so they make stupid decisions together. That's what you have when you have like, young 20, 21, 22-year-olds having children together, whatever. It's a stupid decision. It's a moronic decision. But they both are stupid. So two idiots made an idiotic decision together, and you can't really figure out who to blame it on because they're both really, really stupid. But then when you have a relationship like the one, in Serbia, in which one of them is 33 and one of them is 18, one person here obviously was the one supposed to be smarter than this. One person was supposed to have a brain in their head and figure out that this relationship is fucking ridiculous because you're dating an idiot. This is a kid. And yeah, he didn't, so. Half your age plus 7? Wait, for me, what would that be for me? I'm bad with math. Okay, 13 and a half plus 7, 20.5 20 and a half. I feel like it would be too young. Did I calculate it properly? Yes, I did. I feel like it would be too young. I am currently, my age gap with my boyfriend right now is 4 years. Like, you feel it sometimes. I feel like I couldn't go any lower. I feel like I couldn't go any lower. Not any sort of a chance for it. Holy shit now. Yeah. But so I feel like it would be way too big of a gap for me. But I feel like once you're in your older, let's wait, 33, if you're 33, there would be 15, 16 and a half, and then plus 7, 23 something. Oh, I feel like it's pushing it. I feel like it's pushing it. Could we make it... Wait. I'm trying to figure out how to fix it. 13, half. Okay, if you make it plus 10... If you make it plus 10, I would maybe be more accepting of it. Half your age plus 10. Maybe then. Maybe it's like the lowest one, right? Maybe that. Yeah, 23.5, dating a 33-year-old. I would be sussed out about it. I don't know, I would be sussed out. But also, like, I feel like 23-year-olds are like... It's on the verge of dumbassery. Like, you're not really stupid, but you kind of are stupid. And I feel like anyone above 30 dating you probably is not really the sanest person living, you know? Formula needs to be more complex. Oh, yeah. You know what you need to do? We need to figure out a way to solve the formula, but like with stuff like IQ test and then emotional intelligence test also there. So you input the results and then you calculate the age that you could be dating based on these results. I feel like that could work the best. Staying silent on this subject. DB, are you dating someone who is like half your age? My man forgot the plus 7 part. Just stuck to the first part of the equation, that's it. She's 2 years older than me and she married me because I was a young guy. And I guess I could be like a fucking cougar. I kinda am, definitionally, right? I kinda am. She just hit 24 and dumped me, became smarter. Hey, shit. See, that's also why it sucks dating young, stupid people. Because they start being smart after a while and then they get rid of you if you're not good enough. And then, you know, you wasted a few years of your life and you're old. It's not like you can waste a few years. You're soon going to die. You can't waste a few years in a relationship that is not going to last, which is why you should be dating someone of your own age. So if the relationship crumbles, it's going to crumble now. It's not going to crumble when they get a brain in a few years. It's going to crumble now. You're not wasting time. You don't have time to waste, bro. Death, it's approaching. 1/3 of your age plus 15. What? Oh, but my man, that's a lot of mathematics. Holy shit, wait. Okay. 9, 26. Could deal with that, I guess. Could deal with that. Thompson says all the single women around his age, 30, are too crazy. Probably. No, look, it's not about... Of course they're not. Of course they're not. But I was just thinking of how to like input a joke about him being hogtied. Of course they're not like crazy. It's just that, you know, when people get older, their personality forms and you have to figure out how to live with them. And I think sometimes that's really hard to do, depending on what sort of a person you are. I just remembered to do this one. You know, it's like when you are in your 20s, early 20s, you're like 22, you don't have a personality. You're a blank slate. You're a moron. That's it. That's what you are. It's like school board. Think of a school board and there's nothing on it. That's what you are. It's like early 20s. You're nothing. So usually when older people date you, what they want is to push you in the direction they like. That's the reason why they're dating you. But then you form a personality over the years, you figure it out and you abandon them, or you get caught in the trap and you never actually get out of that relationship, and then you're stuck with someone who's shit. But I think that when you're like in your 30s, like what Thompson is, you meet women there and they already have a formed personality, and it's hard to not clash, you know? It's easy not to clash with someone who's very young because they're stupid and they're empty. What you gonna clash with someone who's like 18? They're idiots. They do their little homework, they go home, I don't know, maybe play some games, go to sleep. They don't really have a formed personality. They never had to deal with certain challenges. When you meet someone who's 30, they had to deal with some shit. They had to deal with some types of people already. They have their interests already formed, and it's harder for you not to clash. So I think it's easier to see these types of people as crazy. Half plus 7, I'm 41, so you're exactly my half plus 7. Oh, really? Nice! Ah, on the verge. See. Can't catch teenagers. I don't want to be catching any teenagers. Teenagers are dumb. Ish. If you're 33, that should be 11 plus 15. It's 26. I feel like that could actually make sense. Then it would be like if you're 21, you got 7. And then you have... Yeah, it could actually work. I feel like it could actually work. Like it would bring you relatively close. Better or easier to be in a relationship, the younger one or the older one? Ooh, that's a hard one. I prefer being the older one. But I think it depends on what sort of a person you are. It's like, you know how Thompson is a pussy? And he fears being tied, blindfolded? It's like that. Think about it this way. Are you a pussy? If you are a pussy, you possibly will not do well with being the younger one in a relationship. But, you know, it's kind of personality shit. Like, I'm a pussy, so I don't really know. Whenever I was the younger one, I wasn't really in a relationship. This is my first relationship. But when I was on a like flirty basis with older men, it felt weird. It feels like they're taking control over you, and it's really uncomfortable. So like now it's more balanced for me. It's like, I feel like because of his virtue of, you know, being a dude, he still is having like more control, but it's like more balanced and it's more normal than it would be if I was dating an older man. I wouldn't really deal well with that. Pussy, it's like being scared of losing control, I feel like, is what defines a pussy to someone. But also, like, I think it depends on your views on... There's a word. Fuck. Your views on commitment? I think it depends on that one, too. Because, like, for a reason... The reason why I could never date older men is because whenever I was on a flirty basis with older men, they would all get really into commitment ideas very, very soon. They would get into the whole talk about, like, oh, you know, we need to start a life together, starting a family, starting, you know, the whole thing with, like, actually committing. And I was always really uncomfortable with those types of talks. It feels like you're being led around by someone, you know? That's what it feels like when you are dating someone older sometimes. You can feel like you're being led around by someone. So if you want to avoid that, you know, maybe choose accordingly. Someone's a pussy if they don't want to be blindfolded by someone they've dated a short time. Wait, the way I've understood Thompson's pussy situation is that he is in a... I don't know how long he has been with a girl, basically, okay? That depends, okay? It depends. The line between pussy and smart depends on like how close you are to this person, how long you have been close. Because there are people who, no matter how long they know someone, and no matter how long they have a relationship thing, they will still be unable to lose control. Right? So, I know it because like I'm that way. I feel like at no point would I really feel comfortable despite how long of a relationship I would be having. I feel like I could never really feel comfortable losing that much control, right? So I feel like that's what being a pussy is. I truly would feel like that's being a pussy. But if it's like a month or so, then it's smart. Then it's smart. Oh yeah, I don't remember. He didn't say how long they've been. I don't even know if they've been dating, because the way I've understood it is that they've just been hooking up, but I don't know. I was just kind of mocking him in chat, to be honest. I wasn't really too involved in the story. Wasn't following the lore too much. This is the chat. Which dude, Roman? A beach party.
I know what you're thinking, but this is not Balenciaga.
What?
This is Crimean Beach Party.
It's going to be more vibrant than a Venetian carnival.
What's that song?
NATO is about unity, so unite with us at the event of the year, Crimea Beach Party.
I've been in politics for years, and this is the most exciting campaign yet. Join us.
In Finland, we say sisu to denote determination and courage. Show some sisu and join us at the Crimean Beach Party.
Whoa! Whoa, this is good.
In my career, I've seen budgets rise and fall, but the excitement for this party is off the chart.
I thought Brexit was tough, but choosing between the Crimean Beach Party and Downing Street is even tougher.
They got Boris!
To see this.
This was good. This was good. I love this. This was good. Oh, amazing. 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 Just, oh. What did I want to say? I forgot. If a woman judges you for your health, then for your height, don't talk to them. Based. Sana is based. Sana is based. Also, Kaya also needs to be appearing. Consensual non-consent. There's a lot of things that I judge people for. A lot of kinks that I will judge people for. That is one of them. I judge kinky people, basically. Now that I think about it, I think most kinks that you can think of right now, I would probably judge people who have them. Ukraine can't make it to the first line of trenches, hundreds of kilometers away from Crimea. Nah, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Gonna take us some time, but we're gonna be fine. We're doing well so far. It's gonna be alright. I wasn't following the frontline situation over the weekend, to be honest. I don't know too much about the changes made. But I'm quite positive. Also, USA is giving us new ammo, so... No! Russophobia. Was that? I always thought that was a dolphin for some reason. I'm just now figuring out that was a shark. Holy shit. It's a Russophobia, though. I didn't...
So like, his view of these countries is just so
Feet.
one-sided because he only hangs out with these fucking red pill
You're not
circle
positive?
jerkers,
I
digital
kinda am.
nomad, expat, fucking bold and bankrupt looking ass. You're all just talking about how much you hate trans and gay people every day, and minorities, because a lot of the time the reason for these digital nomad expats from the West who are escaping the woke culture, who love the traditional values of the East, a lot of the times the reason that they actually leave America or whatever is because they just want to be around white people. They want to be around other racist white people, so that's why they go to Eastern Europe. I mean, fair enough, but like, that's not really a good thing, is it?
In Croatia.
Look at this. Croatia! We're gonna look at the Croatia, but look at this, look at this, look at this. Since the beginning of the counteroffensive, Ukrainian army has liberated 168.6 square kilometers of Ukrainian land at all hours of the day and night, step by step. This is how it compares to other urban areas throughout the world. Wishy! Now, you know what? I've read this one really, really good analysis of the counteroffensive, and it was that right now it seems slow because not many people know what a counteroffensive is supposed to be like. Because you expect the counteroffensive to be, you know, the main troops just going in. They're not supposed to do that at this stage of the counteroffensive. They're supposed to be, you know, clearing out the area. So when the main troops do go in, they can go in with the least amount of losses possible. Usually the first stage, which is this stage that they're going through right now, usually it's done with planes. But they can't really do it that way because they didn't get any. So they have to do it other ways. And this is why to, you know, people, they see that heavy artillery is moving, they see that, you know, some tanks are moving, and they're like, look, is this like the actual second phase of the offensive in which the troops, the main troops themselves go in? But no, this is the first part. It's just that they have to do the first part without the planes. But this is why you're seeing so many fuel storages getting blown up, and then ammunition getting blown up, the lots of like, what's the word, generals getting exploded because they hit military grounds, stuff like that. You're seeing all of this happen because we are in the first stage of the counteroffensive. So then after this, the main troops are supposed to like go all in, but we're still waiting for that. Russian ethnic minorities, aka cannon fodder. It's actually sad that they're being used this way, but also at the same time, I'm fucking angry at the fact that it seems that outsiders are more angry about this than, you know, actual Russians. Anyone? Even when it comes to when they do like those little angry videos, like the ones, if you remember, the ones from last week, which were like, oh, Putin is not giving us enough weapons. And then they just go, oh yeah, well, we would love to actually be taking part in this war. We just want to be properly supplied so we could do our business. I don't know. It seems like outsiders care more about the lives of Russian minorities than Russians themselves, or their minorities at this point care about it. And I don't know how to feel about that. Winter beach party? I mean, we never specified when it's going to be. Oh, a Russian war criminal responsible for launching Caliber cruise missiles to murder Ukrainian civilians was assassinated? No. Oh, no. I knew it, Budanov. Any perpetrator that committed any war crimes or crimes against humanity in Ukraine, or even just very egregious crimes, like the group rape or killing of civilians and children, will be found and eliminated in any part of the world. Expect Budanov's Defense Intelligence Agency to take credit for the flawless execution of the Russian war criminal on Russian soil. The announcement could go far in dissuading Russian commanders from committing war crimes, especially those who had not yet committed any. I mean, how many of them have not committed any war crimes yet? Let's be honest here. Come on. Difference between mutiny and coup, media doesn't clarify. Wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Igor is a source? Yeah, that's true. Probing a poke in the front line for a weak line in the chain and bust right through it and flood it. Yeah, that too. So it doesn't really seem that it's going slowly right now. I think people just don't know what a counteroffensive is. So they think it's going slowly because they imagined it a lot differently than what it actually is supposed to be. I think people operate on video game logic, basically. Potato bolide in Belarus, completely made of tractor parts. The potato miracle can accelerate to 320 kilometers per hour. Nice. Блядь, Nice, perfect. Watch him get a bunch of these for Wagner. Stanislav, let me see this. Medusa also posted on this. Russian mobilization official Stanislav Rizitsky killed in Krasnodar. So I'm guessing it's okay to have Igor as a source because it's also here. Oh, the Telegram channels have reported. Shot, Baza and Mash. I don't know which these are. I don't know these. The Russian news agency TASS confirmed the reports, citing law enforcement agencies. Krasnodar administration told RBK Media Group and Kommersant that Rizitsky's death was under investigation. Oh no. I mean, look, what do I tell you? Shit happens. They could do way more if it wasn't so close to election year. They got approximately 3,700 Abrams just sitting on some garage lot in the desert. Yeah, that too. That too. We should be getting all of them. And we're not. So that kind of sucks. We're not gonna be getting the fancy shit. Wizz Air took a Ukrainian veteran soldier with a prosthesis of the plane to Tel Aviv. What? The airline later apologized on Twitter. We apologize for the inconvenience caused to our passenger on a recent flight. Why? Currently, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine is asking the Ukrainian veteran to get in touch as it wants to find out all the circumstances of the incident and protect his rights. What? Mm. 39-year-old on Tinder. Can you explain the half plus 7 thing to her family, please? I mean, to be fair, half plus 7 is like the lowest age. And the high... What was the oldest? How do you calculate the oldest? I don't know how you calculate the oldest. But she is in your range, technically. Coup is when you seize power during it. Mutiny only when you rebel but don't seize any power. I was wondering where the conversation started from. I was confused on that. Like, why was it suddenly mentioned in chat? America would have resources to send way more than they currently do. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. America trusts Ukraine, but not enough with the nicer Abrams. Oh, okay, fair. But, like, at least we could be getting... Give us the old shit then. You have the old shit too, don't you? We're not getting all of the old ones either. So that also sucks. Any of them. Like old planes or whatever, I don't know. Just any of them. Is nice. Fair. It was his birthday recently, by the way. We weren't streaming, so it was, I think, Saturday. But Zaluzhny is 50 years old.
Even though they're European, they're part of the Schengen area, they're leaning towards Europe more and more.
Hrvatska, let's go! You're also not woke.
They played a leaning.
Where's Slippers to hear pronunciation? This was good. This was properly said. Are you embarrassed by a Russian having a better pronunciation of Hrvatska than you have? Huh? He said Hrvatska properly. He said it well. You're getting all the old ones. But can't you, like, set the age preferences on Tinder, or I don't know how that works. I thought you could set the age preference. Or can you not? M1 Abrams, which doesn't have the depleted uranium armor and it's just a steel composite armor. Oh, any of them though. I'm pretty sure Ukraine would be very grateful for any at this point.
Leaning towards Europe more and more.
Hrvatska, let's go. You're also not woke.
They played a cartoon recently of a doctor and a small boy, and the doctor was telling the small boy that he should be a girl, that he doesn't feel right because he should be a girl and he should get a surgery to be a girl. And the outrage all over Croatia is crazy. They do not accept this. In the West, this is normal now.
So...
What? Croatia rally traditionalists. Croatia rally traditionalists reject something, right? What was the title? European Gender Treaty? 2018. First of all, 2018. But okay. He is full of shit, this little bitch ass boy. Oh no. Oh no, this is on us being against Istanbul Convention. He's lying. This article is on a Croatian rally against Istanbul Convention. What a piece of shit. I could actually make that into the title. Yeah, based. Let's see what types of people we get. Do you guys, how many of you guys had, what's the word? Istanbul Convention protests in your countries? Because in Croatia, they were strong. And you know why they were strong in Croatia? I'll let you know why they were strong in Croatia. It's because priests have told people at Sunday masses that you will not be allowed to have daughters and sons anymore. You will only be allowed to have children. They will have to be sexless and genderless. You will not be allowed to call your daughter a daughter. You will not be allowed to call your son a son. In the same way, children will not be allowed to call their mother a mother or their father a father. It would be parent 1 and parent 2, very similar to how Simonian represents the Western society. And you know what's the reason why they lied this way about the Istanbul Convention, which, by the way, was supposed to be a convention to improve countries' ways of lessening violence against women? Is because there's one part in this convention, which is, it says, violence against women and girls and those who identify as such. That's it. Because of this one sentence, nowhere else is anything resembling gender ideology even mentioned. Just this one sentence. And we had widespread protests, all right? Just because of this. 2018 was the year when I came back to Croatia from Germany. And I still remember I was like learning my father at the time. We were teaching him how to Google stuff on his phone. And at the time, I remember teaching him how to Google Istanbul Convention so he could find the text of it and read it himself, because he was actually wondering what was written in it. That was the first time that I was like, oh, nice, he's actually learning how to think critically about the news, because he asked what is in it. He wasn't like immediately jumping on an opinion, but we were having lunch, and during lunch he was like, hey, is it possible to like find the convention online? So we could read it and know what it is instead of listening to the news. And I was like, yeah, of course, sure, absolutely. So I remember that event very, very clearly. But he's lying over this thing. It wasn't because of the fucking cartoon. I don't even know what cartoon he's talking about. It was not because of the fucking cartoon. It was because of the convention itself. Yes, it was It was technically men upset that violence against women is being seen as a specific issue. So even though we do have a very high rate of violence against women, we have a high rate of femicide. At the same time, mentioning it as a specific issue is seen as relatively controversial. You know, it's like when you talk about any other like issue which can affect both sexes. If you talk about the way it only affects one of them, the other group you will usually get offended, and it's like that here. Some men got fucking offended because, you know, the conversation was about the rates of violence against women, and it wasn't about the rates of family violence itself. And then they held fucking protests on this. So yeah, no, I think the argument is shit. I don't know what you're doing, Spicy. Is this like, what are you doing around here? Are you just like clogging the chat or whatever? What do you mean? It's a stupid ass argument. Why would you ask the opinion on that stupid ass argument? You know it's a stupid ass argument. Do you not know it's stupid? But yeah, overall Istanbul Convention thing, very, very stupid. We had referendums against Istanbul Convention, very, very stupid. But I think I even talked to you about this when we had referendums against Istanbul Convention. Fuck. What's the shit? Let me mute this thing. Oh, okay, it's not even playing for you. Nice, fucking based. When we had the Istanbul Convention thing, what we had, I need to find the actual Croatian word for it because I don't know what it's called in Croatian. Nah, give me this. Istanbulska konvencija. Okay, fair enough. It's like exactly the same. It's exactly the fucking same. Referendum. Because I need to show you another referendum. I think we talked about this. At the same time, when they were holding a referendum against this, they were holding a referendum against jail time, prison time given to priests who were caught molesting children just over the street from having a referendum against the Istanbul Convention, and people would go and they would fucking sign it. How do I find this one? No. I need to find this one. It was a very, very interesting one because it was specifically against prison punishment for priests who are molesting children. So not like those alleged, but those who have actually been proven to be doing it. And people would go and they would sign it with their kids, because the way it was presented to them was like, hey guys, if you're also against like the woke bullshit in society, come here, sign this, because your priests are being put in jail without deserving it. And people actually went and they signed it. So yeah. Fuck, I need to find it. There were a lot of photos of that one over people who signed it. And I remember a specific one of them being a woman with like a young kid that she walked with, and then you know, she brought this kid there, like she's holding the kid's hand and she's signing the fucking paper, and it was so weird to see. Red Femme circles. So yeah, Red Femme circles don't really have any power though, is it? It's like more of a Twitter thing. See what they advocate for? Yeah, but like it's a Twitter thing. They're irrelevant. They wrote a manifesto in 1967. My dude, if it was worth anything, it would be, you know, doing some shit. They're doing nothing. They're like less useful than communists in the government, and communists in the government are fucking useless. Anti-statists, useless. Anarchists, useless. All of these people are just like little groups in society that do nothing and will never have any sort of power, will never have any proper actual influence. which is a good thing. I'm not saying this is a sad thing. It's a good thing that these people will never have any sort of a power, you know? I just don't really think it's realistic to present as if they are a real threat in most of our countries. No, Erdogan didn't let Sweden in NATO. He did say, though, that he is going to let Sweden into NATO if Turkey is let into European Union, which was a very stupid thing to do, and I don't know why he did it.
Some like right-wingers went out on the streets. Look, that's a huge demonstration, dude. Huge! Croatia is not woke, guys. Croatia rejects all the woke and PCBS.
And these traditional countries, they do not accept these.
Talking about woke PCBS, you know who's one of our biggest youth celebrities? What's his name? He was a meme on American internet for a while. There's two of them. I think I'm not thinking of this one. Oh no, I was thinking of this one. I was thinking of this one. There's two of them. No, I wasn't. One of them got so many surgeries. He's photoshopping his images, which is why like people are mocking him usually. Like he unironically posts shit like this online. But the other one, whose name I can't remember this time, but he looks even worse than this. He was the one who went to, what was it? Who knows? Was it Japan? He got a nose plastic surgery. But then when he got a plastic surgery, he had a boner and it wouldn't go down. They like messed something up with whatever the fuck they did to him during the surgery, and he was in danger for a while, actual danger for his life, because his boner was not going down, and it was like a sign of a bigger issue happening, or whatever the fuck. I don't remember. I remember the headlines, and I remember them being plastered everywhere. Bring Nafo through. Bring Nafo on stage. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wait, Erdogan? Something new on him? Oh yeah. Erdogan says European Union must clear the way for Turkey before it will support Sweden's NATO bid. That. So he wants to get into European Union, and because he wants to get into European Union, he's, allowing Sweden into NATO as a bargaining chip. I don't really think he's gonna go in. I think he knew he's not gonna get in. I basically don't know why he made the claim. I think he could have had a chance to get into European Union by blackmailing us, but he could have done it a lot softer, and then he would actually have a chance to do it. But being so open about it is a bit weird. I don't know. Yeah, isn't it blackmail? It like is, but he could have done it softly, He could have hidden it. He could have pretended Turkey actually wants to work for this. And then we would be aware that, like, hey, Turkey is trying very, very hard. And also, maybe if we are nice towards them, they will allow Sweden to get into NATO. So maybe we should be better towards them. Like, there was a way for him to softly manipulate us into letting him in. But instead, he did the dumbest possible thing. I don't know. What was the reasoning behind this?
Like that. These countries typically are those with traditional values where masculinity is rewarded, femininity is rewarded, and kids are given their proper rights. They're not indoctrinated or groomed or anything like that.
Oh my God,
bullshit all of this.
I really will never understand why some people just can't like live and let live. I really will never understand it, because that's really what this all boils down to. As a Croatian, this is true. We don't tolerate that BS. Maybe speak for yourself. Maybe speak for
bullshit.
yourself. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people from Croatia that are going to be watching my video will say...
I'm trying to figure out which one part of my entire thing is ringing, and is this one too, so I'm going to turn it off. Yeah, I'll have to do a phone call after the stream ends, but I don't feel like doing it now because I want to watch the video until the end. But what did I want to say? Yeah, this, you know what it reminds me of? But again, European Union conversation. We had talks previously. Same as my phone. I'm sorry! It's the usual, I think it's Messenger one. Facebook Messenger one, right? Yeah, it's the usual Facebook Messenger one. Let me just do a quick. Okay. European Union conversation, because when we were entering European Union, there were a lot of Croatians who were making up claims about how European Union is going to make us into Westerners. You know, the idea was, oh, European Union is going to force us to be Westerners, and they're going to take away our family values, and they're going to take away our traditional values, they're going to take away our culture, going to take away our religion, they're going to take away everything that makes us a traditional Christian country. And now here's the thing, that's bullshit. And one of the best ways for you to learn how much of a bullshit this is to compare how countries encourage certain behaviors and how countries respect certain, I want to say, parts of their culture. So, for example, Germany, which here is seen as the big bad West example, Germany doesn't make people work for their religious holidays. Here, if there's a religious holiday, most people still work. Like, most everything is open. We don't really practice nearly as many of them as Germany does. We share a lot of holidays, but we don't celebrate them. We don't respect them as much as Germans do. We still see ourselves as more traditionalist, but we don't respect religious holidays nearly as much as Germany does. Then it's also when it comes to the ways we deal with traditional families. So, for example, in Germany, my relatives from there always talk about how they always celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day both as holidays. We don't do that here. We don't even know, like I'm pretty sure if you ask most Croatians, they wouldn't know when Father's Day is. But they have relatives there in Germany who have a business like related to buying certain merch and stuff, and they actually have really, really good business when Father's Day is incoming, because a lot of people are buying stuff for their fathers and they're actually celebrating. They're going for a picnic and shit like that. It's like cool. It's a great little event, and it's a whole little party that they make. We don't do that shit here. When you look at how much free time the new parents get from the government, there's also a huge change in that. When you look at how much the government cares about the education of children and how much they offer you an easier way to get them into preschool or kindergarten, so you could have an easier time, being a young parent. The situation in Germany is so much better, yet we still dare to call ourselves religious and traditionalist, even though we are discouraging new families from forming and we are discouraging people from celebrating religious events. Germans are not doing that. So, I think a lot of these ideas of like which country is more traditional, they're based on lies. And a lot of them aren't even metrics that you could be measuring. Like how he says that, in these traditionalist countries, how did he say it? That femininity, masculinity are celebrated. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? What is that? Like, what do you think you're saying by that? It's a meaningless, useless claim to make. You can't measure this. You can't figure out which country celebrates femininity and which country celebrates masculinity. You can't, there's no chance for you to figure this out and to make a claim on this, which is actually useful. You can just be making stupid little guesses. Sweden! What's Sweden doing? Not getting into NATO. Haha.
Otherwise,
I'm right now in Russia, which might be a
There we go.
controversial country for many people, but also here
It
in
is.
Russia.
It is controversial. My life is
Why?
controversial as a result of this. My whole existence is.
One of the most traditional countries that
Ties
you will
with
see
Christians?
in the
Wait,
world.
how?
Absolutely
Is
no
it?
PC,
When
absolutely no
did I say
of
that?
this, and you will have that traditional life. Obviously not a place to live, to have your banking, your finances.
Oh my god. Okay, so I've already talked about this so many times on this channel, right? That video, Stop Idolizing Russia, from many years ago. Once again, another fucking living being, an example of what I was talking about. But yes, Russia, one of the most traditional countries in the world, with no wokeness or no PC. Yes. You wanna know the reason why? Is because there's no human rights and there's no freedom in this country. Because LGBT is banned in Russia, for example, right now, right? As of recently, which is, I'm sure, one of the laws that you are very happy with in Russia, of course. There's no freedom of speech in Russia, not only about politics, but also about, you know, these pressing issues such as gender and sexuality. There's none. And the country is pretty much stuck in, like, 1970s Soviet Union as far as, like, sex education
Lacking
and,
which
like,
ones?
understanding of the stuff.
No, Spicy, that was never my claim. The fuck are you on? I've never said that. No, I've never said that. I've never alleged to that. No. I don't even believe in that. No.
Which is, of course, you know, according to Mr. Conservative over here, of course, progress is
Swedish
bad,
vodka?
you know? And allowing other people to live how they want to live is very, you know, scary. So, there's no PC.
I don't know whose
in
vodka
Russia
I'm
whatsoever,
drinking.
You know? There's no feminists in Russia whatsoever, of course, you know. No single woman in Russia has ever heard of the word feminist. I am, of course, being ironic right now because feminism is pretty big in Russia, actually, and women's rights is, like, a big topic as well, and people talk about this all the time, and, like, you might think that Russia is a country that's, you know,
Wait. I'll have to send a message on this one. Beer count, it's like 1.5. I'm still good. I'm still good. I will have to go to sleep soon though, because I have to work in the morning. But by the way, I didn't tell you. I'm free on Wednesday. I'm not having work on Wednesday. The plan is on Wednesday I have some paperwork to sort out in the morning, and the plan is to then do a chill. No, I've never made a claim about Putin's alliance with Christians. What are you talking about? Are you hallucinating something? Do you have schizophrenia, some shit, my dude? I've never made that claim. I've never made a claim of him defending traditional family values either. I don't believe in either of these things. But yeah, I'm free on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, I should be able to go sort out my papers in the morning. 7:30, I should be going around the town running. Give me a second. Okay. But yeah, on Wednesday we should be having a longer stream, so I'm kind of hyped about that. Let me see this. Are these the same links? Are these the same links? I guess they are. Oh! Erdogan has agreed to forward Sweden's accession protocol to the Grand National Assembly ASAP. What? Why? Why? What? Why? Now? Why? Why? I mean, I support it, but like, why? Nice. Okay. Impressive. Why? European Union told him to fuck off. Oh, he figured he can't blackmail us, so then he had to be normal. I mean, Orban, I think Orban already agreed. I think Orban agreed because we didn't want to give him the European Union cash money, right? I think Orban already agreed. Or? Turkey agrees to send Sweden's NATO accession protocol to Parliament swiftly. I think... Did he already agree? Yeah, it's all about Turkey, 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 Turkey. No one talks about Hungary. Hungary postponed the vote. Oh, Hungary's parliament postponed ratifying Sweden's NATO accession bid on Wednesday. When they supposed to vote this at the start of the year? Am I hallucinating this shit? I was pretty sure they were supposed to vote this in like February, I think. It was like, oh, when their parliament starts working again, one of the first things they're going to be doing is voting on this. And then I guess they just never did it. I don't know. Maybe I'm like forgetting what the fuck is going on. My man was just kidding. He did it for a TikTok. He did it for a TikTok.
You know, also pretty separated from the world, but actually Russia is influenced a lot by what is going on in the world and in the West. And these discussions about, you know, what you would call woke and PC stuff happen in Russia as well. And once again, Russia, just like any other country, is not a
Autumn
hive
legislative
where people
session.
do the exact same thing. In Russia, not everybody's supposed.
Productivity of Hungarian parliament. Huh. Look at this. History, turnout, results by party, members, references. I can't find when they start voting. Fidesz, 54, bro. Another golden swimming pool, though. Yeah, also another stadium. Biden will pardon Turkey next Thanksgiving. Oh shit, that would have been a great thing if, if Turkey didn't allow Sweden to get into NATO. He could write some mad-ass speech. You know, like, oh, this Turkey could have been pardoned and their life could have been saved if only they weren't a little bitch. And then he does the chop, looking straight into the camera. But no, Erdogan has to fix the thing before Thanksgiving, and then we don't get a weird threatening video from Biden.
Putin. In Russia, not everybody thinks gay people should not exist. In Russia, not everybody supports Putin. In Russia, not everybody thinks gay people.
Who's that? He'll pardon the Turkey and eat another one. I've never really figured out what happens with that. Is that what they do? What do they do? I know nothing about Thanksgiving. I know your scenes from holiday movies, and that's about it. That's about like the only thing that I know, really. So like you make turkey. Which TV show is it? The one where they make like a huge salad or some shit for that, and that's it. I genuinely don't know what you people do. Big rainbow cock. Oh, they don't like big rainbow cocks. I can understand that if your cock is rainbow, maybe there's some problem with it. Gay turkey. I don't know enough about turkeys to know whether or not this is representing a turkey. No, actually I do know. It's supposed to have the thing. It's supposed to have a thing. They have the big thing. Big thing. See this? They have that. And that one doesn't have it. So it's a cock. Yes. Very well observed, Catfield. You are a cock connoisseur. Thank you.
People should not exist. In Russia, not everybody is a fucking trad wife, red pill, base conservative like yourself. Not everybody is like that. And once again, you coming to Eastern Europe will not automatically mean that you will be like a more accepted member of society. Maybe start becoming a decent human being that actually cares about lives of others and actually has some empathy, and maybe then you'll be accepted in any society that you go to.
Obviously not a place to live, to have a
maybe
renting,
not
your finances, anything like that. But if you want an escape from the West, then definitely a place that you should consider. Just 1 week, 2 weeks, you'll have a new view of life and of this country.
Yeah, my guy, I'm pretty sure that, you know, Russia being not a good place to live, or not a good place to have your banking or finances, might be actually the results of the exact anti-woke, anti-PC policies the government has been, you know, running for the past over 20 years. Because believe it or not, when you live in a society that, you know, destroys minorities and, you know, sexual minorities.
You know what you people are reminding me of, but it's completely irrelevant to this, but I can't stop thinking about it. There's this one, is it Cartoon Network? Anglophiles. Advertisement they have. It is Cartoon Network. Fuck, I don't know how to find their advertisements. In which the whole thing is about the Teen Titans. It's Teen Titans. It's Teen Titans, and they basically, there's an advertisement in which they drink tea, and then because they drink tea, they become Anglophiles, and like they start making British breakfast and everything, and then Robin gets really, really angry at them, and he's just like constantly screaming about how they're traitors to their own country, and that's kind of the energy I'm getting whenever I see you people, you know, talking about traditionally USA things. It's like I'm being indoctrinated into your culture because I actually like the idea of having Thanksgiving. You present it really, really well in movies. It's good propaganda that you do.
As well.
It always looks very warm and family, and I don't know, I like it.
Slowly turns more and more, and as a result of that, you can have decent life and banking in Russia. So, and I think I didn't manage to convey it well enough in the video, but imagine thinking that the mythical danger of your child being indoctrinated into becoming trans is so real in your heads that you actually decide that it would be better to move to a country where there will be more actual dangers to your children, such as poverty, the crime rates, the political instability and whatnot. Just imagine thinking that when you're coming from a privileged first world country.
Conglomerate of countries, I would say, are in Latin America. Mexico, Colombia, very traditional countries. They want to be married, they want to have a family, they want to grow up. You've seen a lot of Americans, a lot of Canadians moving down to Mexico to escape this Western mentality, and you definitely will have a lot more traditional lifestyle, a lot more just beautiful feminine women in these countries, period. And you have a society that functions better than in the United States, not this degeneracy that we've been seeing.
Degeneracy-free society.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so traditional and feminine women. So yes, you want a wife that will shut up and cook and clean. I mean, I do as well. The thing is that I just don't speak about it. Because the thing is, you gotta realize is that a lot of people don't realize this actually. Me as a Russian, a lot of my the way I kind of see my day-to-day life and my relationships, it is pretty traditional, I guess. Like my view on stuff. Like when I live with a girl, I'm pretty much having like a pretty patriarchal order in my house, I guess. Because that's just the way I've been grown up, right? However, I don't think that that's the way everybody should live. Everybody should be free to fucking choose whatever they want to do, right? So, to this guy, however, it's a big issue because he actually wants to have traditional and feminine women that would shut up and cook and, like, not argue with him. Because, of course, this is an emotionally mature individual that clearly respects women very much. So, he clearly cares about women's rights, and that is why some of the countries that he loves the most are countries where women have no rights. And they have a degeneracy-free society. So yes, I mean, once again, Mr. What's his name? Raphael is saying the quiet part out loud here. To him, people that have a different sexual orientation to him, a different gender, a different identity, whatever you can say. To him, these people are degenerates. And what they represent and their entire movement that actually fights for their rights in society, that is degeneracy. So yeah, I mean, once again, when you call gay and trans people degenerates, fully masked off in a YouTube video, I don't know. I just really don't know if I should, like, you know, beat around the bush and, like, not state who this guy truly is.
And the last one in this list would be...
Wait, Americans go to Mexico to retire because it's more affordable and they can't afford to retire in America? So they don't go to escape the Western world, they go... It's like Germans going to Croatia. Finns retire to Spain? I like how everyone else is like, oh yeah, you go from this, like, okay country to this, yeah, country. I don't really know what Mexico is like. But I keep on thinking about, like, Germans retiring to Croatia and then Croats retiring to Serbia. And it's like, you go from your okay country to your country. But then Finns retire to Spain? Holy shit. That's like two good countries. You go from a good place to another good place. That's not fair. We go to fucking Serbia to retire, or to Bosnia. I don't know which one's weirder. Go to fucking Spain.
Be Thailand. Thailand is a very interesting case.
I
because it
wish I
provides a
could go
different point of
retire
view
too.
into this whole, for example, transgender movement.
heaven
In
on
Thailand,
earth.
transgenderism is
Nauru.
extremely popular. It's considered the third sex. So there's male, female, and then there's transgender. It's considered a whole other sex.
Yeah, I've actually been to Thailand recently, and I found it kind of interesting to see a country where there seems to be no prejudice towards trans people at all. At least from what I've seen, from what I understand, which is just makes me wonder, why can't the rest of the world be like that, not like this guy?
Yeah. They really put an effort into it. When a man becomes a woman, let's say, or a lady, boy, they call them in Thailand, they really put effort. They
I'm
look like
already
women.
planning, my
They
dude.
behave like women. They act like women.
Look, technically, if I take my Twitch to Serbia, I could probably like live with my sub money. I need to do that. All this time I was calculating how much Twitch money I need to be, you know, living in Croatia. I could just like go to Serbia. You don't need any cash to live in Serbia. No one there has cash money. How do they live? Who the fuck knows? But the thing with like Spain, Norwegians retiring in Sweden. See, I see that one because it's like cold country, GG, based. Why would you go from a cold country to a warm country? Why do you want to do that? I cancel my sub and you have to move to Kosovo. Gonna be at the front line. I'm going to be doing like journalism from the front line, just like cameras all over the borders, so you see what's happening there. People living near the Norwegian border who work there. Oh, I know some Serbs here who work in Croatia, so that's kind of cool. I know some Serbs who work in Croatia, and they're actually having really, really good lives. They have nice paychecks, and when compared to how they're living in Serbia, these paychecks are a lot better. So, you know, kind of fucking based. Double the pay. Yeah, here too. I know one family. It's cool. The father of the family recently was in a shop, and we had a little chat, and he talked about how in Serbia, he used to be working his ass off, and they would never have enough money. So he was working. Serbia has really bad workers' protection laws. So he was just working and then working and then working and just never stopping to work. And all of this time, you know, nothing was really improving in his life. And then, by the way, guys, I have to leave. And then he came to Croatia. And in Croatia, he is working and his wife is working. And they work proper shifts. So it's not, you know, as wild and crazy as it used to be while they were in Serbia. So they're doing proper shifts. They're getting a lot cash money. And as a result, not only do they pay off their entire house, but they are buying a plot of land next to their house where they're going to build a house so his parents could come in, so they could be taking care of the kids, because they have like I think 4 children, so his parents could come into this new house, and then they're going to be taking care of the children while mother and father are working in Croatia. So it's, you know, it's like a very good life that they're having, and they're actually improving stuff in their life. They bought like a car and everything, you know, and it's such an improvement that they could never afford to have while they were still working in Serbia. So I don't know, I thought it was a cool little thing. Cevapi, yeah, definitely. Everything's cheaper in Bogojevo. Everything has to be cheaper in Bogojevo. It's the point of the country, isn't it? Why would it be more expensive? What are you talking about? Gendered definition of domestic abuse is not really. What? Gender definition of domestic abuse. Yeah, but that's not encouraging abuse against men. Creating a gendered... Oh shit, we need to be making a new raid message. Guys, we need to be making a proper raid message. We need a proper raid message. Give me your raid message ideas in the Discord, and I'm going to be picking the best one tomorrow. I need to fix the raid command. I haven't touched that one since like the Paladins days. Holy shit. But yeah, I think creating a gender definition of domestic abuse isn't really the same thing as entail. DB, you're getting banned from this stream. You're getting banned from this chat. You're getting banned from this live. I am removing you from the country itself. No, it doesn't say that, my dude. Also, Raid. Ha! See ya!